Oh yeah, welcome to How Can She Snap? The Marvel Snap podcast for the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother, Mr.
It's no big deal, baby.
Oh yeah. We got a nice episode for you today. One of those OTA breaks. We're gonna be talking about Conquest. Infinity tickets are now live, going for those Infinity borders. We're gonna talk about the meta, how we're feeling. Spiderman 2099, new card coming out, crushing souls, crushing dreams. Then me and Mr. No Big Deal are gonna do something we haven't done in this podcast yet. We're gonna talk about our top 10 cards right now that
Some
we
ranking.
feel,
Yeah.
and we don't know each other's, so it's going
Yeah.
to be interesting.
hmm
Then we got to go into those stonks, baby, and let's get it. All right, no big deal. How are you, my man? What's going down this week, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been playing some Infinity grind it out. And first run, we got through. We did it. We got our 5-0. We take it to the bank. And yeah, I only played one day. I mean, our last pod was like 4 or 5 days ago, so
Yeah,
we are going a little bit early today. So yeah, I haven't been too many days. I played Snap for a couple days, and one of the days we got the Infinity ticket. You get a stupid amount of medals, by the way, just for each win. Even each
yeah,
win's like 1,000 medals per win. It's like ridiculous, but
that's crazy.
yeah. So I bought the Goblin boosters like multiple times now. You could
Yeah,
buy it as many times as you want.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun playing a little bit Diablo as well, and yeah, I've been having a good time.
Yeah, so Conquest, you have to talk about your Infinity run. I don't know if you're going to be suited for this podcast anymore because you're not really a filthy casual.
No, and
Infinite on,
even after doing
Infinite
like,
on day one,
I was thinking that,
Infinity Conquest after one run,
and
5 and 0.
I pulled a big bad Jeff the Baby Shark,
Oh,
six K token big bad, like
we
that a
didn't
lot of people
talk
don't
about
have.
that.
Yeah, so
That was like the
uh,
day of or the day before the last podcast. We forgot to talk about that.
yeah.
No big deal. Just friggin' pulls the big bad Jeff.
The nuts, man. I didn't realize it was the nuts at the time, but it absolutely is the nuts. I mean, I think you want him over all the big bads, man. Galactus, Thanos, forget about it, man.
Oh
High
god,
Evo,
he's
okay, you
great.
take High Evo, but
Yeah.
after that is Jeff.
Oh my god, of course.
Yeah.
So what deck did you use? What was your
Mhm.
strategy going into it? Talk about it. You use the cat. You use Goose. So Goose, you love that avatar. That's the one you chose.
Yeah, I got the Infinity Cat. Yeah, I thought about a bit, and it was between Cosmo and Goose. I like
Yeah,
the animals ones. I'm a dog person, like just in real life.
yeah,
But the dogs are like wild in this game. Like Cosmo's going crazy. Lockjaw is just obnoxious. Like I don't even know. Like he's just really hungry. Like I like just a nice, cute animal that's just chilling.
yeah,
And Goose is just chilling, man. He's just sitting there. He's minding his own business. He doesn't look like he's trying too hard at the game. Like he's having fun, but he's chilling, and
yeah.
that's how I like to play. I like to hang out, just play some games, and that's what Goose does. So I got the Infinity, and
That's true.
so I did the Top Chef. I was using the Top Chef title. I never used a title before like this run, and so I was like, all right, I'll try out a title too. So,
What about this Cosmo? He's cute.
yeah, that it was between those two. So that was
Okay,
the
okay.
that's the one I've been using that one for a long time. That
Yeah,
Cosmo.
yeah, yeah.
But it's very like colorful, and like the artwork's very
There's the one you use. This one.
yeah. So the Goose is just more like just yeah, exactly. It's just I don't know, just feels like trolly. I like
He's funny
trolly.
because he's
Yeah,
unimpressed. Yeah,
yeah. But
that's
yeah.
great. So what deck did you use?
So I used the same deck I used to get the day one infinite.
It should be
They
around this
obviously
one.
nerfed Spider-Man pretty hard, but Spider-Man got nerfed, but then they blessed me with a copy of Jeff in the cache. So sure they nerfed Spider-Man, but my deck I was using Star-Lord. I used Star-Lord in my deck to get the infinite on the first day.
Yeah,
So if we take out Star-Lord and we put in Jeff, and then we take Spider-Man, we put him to 5 energy, isn't that not just like same power of deck, right? That was my logic. So
yeah.
the deck is Wasp, and it's a high Evo deck, so it's Wasp, Evo Wasp, Nebula, Misty Knight. That's for the zeros and ones. Then we got Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jeff. because there's just a million high evils out there. So I got to get the Luke Cage in there. Then we got Storm Cyclops. It's the new Storm Juggernaut. That's the new one. And then we
Yeah.
got High Evo, Professor X, Spider-Man, and Hulk Smash. And yeah, so same deck. Just minus one Lizard. Or Star Lord, whatever one you want, and add Jeff instead. You could play Goose in that slot as well. Goose is awesome there. So all these are really good options. I like Lizard a lot with the Luke Cage because it has the
Yeah,
synergy.
Lizard. Yeah.
Um, but if you're not playing Luke Cage, then I don't like Lizard because he could just go to one.
Yeah.
So that's pretty miserable. So at that point, I would just play Goose, I think. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, this deck, same strat. We talked about it a lot on that was like 3 or 4 pods ago at this point.
Yeah.
But you win the Storm lane, and then you're basically cheating out another lane with Spider-Man or Professor X. And even if you don't win the Storm lane, a lot of time they commit a lot to it.
Yeah.
So your Hulk's just going to win anyway. You have Storm for one lane, Professor X / Spider-Man with Daredevil to scout to win another lane, and Hulk Smash and Wasp even to win the other lane. So it's pretty obnoxious deck. I chose it over the other Evo decks because I think the Kitty deck is insane right now. So I think
Yeah.
the Kitty deck can overpower even a High Evo Jaw because Doctor Doom just got nerfed. The Doombots are 4 now, so I think High Evo Jaw got a little bit weaker. That I think was the best deck in the game before the Doctor Doom nerf, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a developer. I don't know the stats, but to me,
That
that's
or
the
Lockjaw.
strongest deck in the
It's
game.
that or the Evo Lockjaw.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the Evil Lockjaw. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the deck I was saying.
Yeah,
The Evil
that or
Lockjaw.
Bounce are the best decks in the game. Now probably just
Yeah.
Bounce
I'm
more than
saying
Evo Lockjaw.
pre Doctor
Yeah.
Doom nerf though. I think
Yeah.
Evil Jaw was even better than Bounce. I think, but now
Yeah.
that
Man.
Doom got nerfed, it's kind of sus. And so a lot of people are playing Kitty. So this deck's really good against Kitty, Storm, and Professor X and Spider Man. Kitty needs to play all 3 lanes. That's like the whole point of a Bounce deck.
Yeah.
So you're shutting down lanes they hate it and they're miserable. So you want
Yeah.
to
Well,
make them miserable.
this
Yeah.
deck owns Bounce. So
Yeah.
the reason why we didn't see a lot of Bounce before is
Hmm.
because this was the best deck in the game, and this is like just a disgustingly disgusting matchup for Bounce. Can't win against this basically like 80% of the time, probably. I don't know,
I
but
will
it's
say it's definitely worse against Bounce now with the Spider-Man nerf.
yes,
4-cost Spider-Man was unreal against Bounce.
yeah,
You could actually just play it on 4 and
yeah,
just kill them. Like play it on their Angela, whatever. Like it's so good on 4. So the Bounce, and now they have Spider Ham as well. So they got
yeah,
the Ham and Spider-Man got nerfed. So um I actually had a like not the easiest time with the Bounce decks.
yeah,
They would get me down to like 4 to 6 HP. But
yeah,
but the with the Luke Cage in the Evo matchup, I was just rolling the Evo decks, man. And it was
yeah.
on the run. I think I played 3 Evo decks, Kitty Bounce, and a move deck. I think that was the 5 that I played. So
Nice. Yeah,
yeah,
so like the high Evo control, that was the number one deck. They nerfed Spider-Man.
hmm
That got taken down a little notch.
hmm
Then Evo Janejaw started coming out
yeah,
because that deck beats this deck.
yes,
And then Bounce started becoming popular too because
hmm
people played less Evo control because there was more Janejaw
yeah,
that was beating Evo control. And
hmm
Bounce can beat the Janejaw.
yeah, yeah. It
So
overpowers
it's
it. Yeah.
kind of like a rock, paper, scissors,
hmm
of meta of what's kind of been going on. But yeah,
I
this is a great
yeah.
list, I think. Yeah.
There were multiple games where I straight up think I won because of the Doom nerf. Like they actually just need the power. I don't know how good that deck is now. The first guy I played had a really strong deck, and I think he got me down to like 3 HP or something. And he
Mhm.
wasn't running Doctor Doom. He was playing like Infinite, I think like Vision, like some crazy shit, like just old school like Lockjaw stuff.
Yeah.
And that deck was really scary to play against. When he was rolling like high, I was like nervous and retreating, and it was very difficult. Even though you could like shut down the Lockjaw lane, like which you think
Yeah.
would be a counter, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy's deck was crazy. But when it was the Doctor Doom decks, like they actually were just getting overpowered. I sent you the one screenshot where the guy
Yeah.
rage
Yeah.
because he didn't know I had Jeff. he
Jeff
had Doom
OP.
Odin to get 8 power in the Storm lane. and I had like Jeff Luke Cage or something, and he already zapped my cards a few times. So my power overpowered. I was adding like 5, and he only accounted for like me to add like 2 power to it. So because Jeff the baby land shark is a big bad, and he's broken ass card. So yeah, yeah.
So how did you feel about playing Jeff in this list? Did he make
I
it
didn't
better?
think he was going to be this good, but he actually is like ridiculous. I just the professor the also I didn't realize like I was just kind of doing it, but just playing him in the storm lane feels really nice.
Yeah,
You could float, like you could play like storm, like say you have Nebula, right? Then you play storm on the Nebula lane, let's say on 3. You could play like Jeff Misty Knight on the storm lane. And if they happen to like just go crazy on your storm lane, well, I could just move Jeff to another lane. Like it's fine, at least it's like he's got it's just like little stuff like that where it's like, and then
yeah,
maybe Misty Knight buffs your other lane too. And you're
yeah,
floating and whatever, right? So it's like, all right, so you force them to commit, and it's like, nah, let's get out of there. And
yeah,
so I don't know, man. He's crazy. Like,
yeah. And in the other way too, like even if you have that lane and like you have it won, then you just
mhm.
move him to like if you know Nebula's gonna win it for you, you move him
Yeah,
to another lane to
if you
help
want
out
it too
power.
much, yeah, if you overkilled it, yeah, you get
So
another 3 power. Like Hulk plus Jeff is I didn't realize how like do the extra 3 power on top of your Hulk, like because sometimes if your Hulk 16 or something, and my
yeah,
Hulk was like a permanent like spider pig, it felt like when I was playing. So it was always like 14 or 16. So just having
yeah,
to, get to go to 19 or 17 power in the lane, like actually just overwhelm the kitty decks too. So
yeah.
that was pretty nice, even with the pig.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
what matchup were you like the most nervous for? What was the closest matchup?
Honestly, it was the kitty bounce, I think, like,
Yeah, really.
it's so good. It's such a
This
good deck.
should crush that.
Yeah, I know, I don't know, man. It was, I was down, like 4 to 6, I think, and then I won a 6 cuber to bring it back, and then I don't know, I felt like he was playing bad after that. He was kinda nervous, but,
Yeah.
he was doing weird shit after that, but,
Was it the
like
Iron Man kitty or was it
yeah, the
OG kitty?
Bast Iron Man, kitty,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he was playing Bast on 1, like, every, game, and,
Oh wow.
Kitty Bast every single game, and, was just wrecking me. Um, because he was just, I don't know, and even the pure Evo is a little bit scary because
Yeah.
they could play She-Hulk into your Storm lane, or
Yeah.
they could play, like, Abomination into your Storm lane, and it's not that much you could do about it, and everyone, by the way, except for the Kitty deck, was running Luke Cage too. So all the Evo decks were running Luke Cage. So yeah, it was nice to play, like, the move deck where he just didn't have Luke Cage, and he wasn't playing, like, some broken, like, Kitty Bounce deck, so that guy got, like, absolutely rolled, but, uh, the Evo matchups weren't as bad as I thought they would be. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, the Doctor Doom Evo felt really good to play against.
Yeah.
But the standard, like Weird Lockjaw, Pure Evo, Kitty Bounce were all like relatively nerve wracking matchups.
Yeah.
I think honestly they're just good decks. You just play
Yeah.
another good deck, then it's kind of like you got some RNG, you got some player skill, some reads, and it comes down to just who's gonna outplay them.
This was an interesting list. I took this. I won a silver run. I mean, because I'm so
Nice.
sick at this game.
Yeah, that's okay.
Uh, don't have time for the other ones. The Get Wrecked is a high level player. He took this at Infinite. I think he said he won 10 in a row. Just a high Evo Moon Girl list. It's got Wasp, Sunspot, Nebula, Misty Knight, Scorpion, Armor, Cyclops, High Evo, Moon Girl, Abomination, Chavez, She Hulk. This was really fun to play.
Yeah, this would
This
be a tough. This I could tell would be a tough matchup for the deck I was playing.
there
Just
was
'cause you could She-Hulk on 4, you could a bomb on 4 into the
yeah
storm lane, and I'm playing like, I'm playing like Cyclops, and it's like
yeah
that's a 9
I
power card, and it's like shit.
I I hit the nuts one game and like the nuts of nuts, and
Mhm,
this guy lost 8 cubes and had no idea what the hell hit him.
mhm.
We had Kamartaj in there, and
Yeah,
I had Abomination and She Hulk in my hand.
that's the on reveal goes twice, right?
Yes.
Oh, so you had like what, 2 She-Hulks, 2 a bomb, or
So
no, 3 and 3?
I moon girled on him
Yeah.
on turn 4,
Mhm.
and I ended up with 2 A bombs and 3 She Hulks. And they and I think I had like Cyclops and and Wasp and stuff, and like a couple of his cards were Scorpioned,
Yeah.
and a bomb was one. So I played
Dude,
three
I
She-Hulks, and I skipped turn 5.
that's
So
ridiculous.
Sunspot was down, soaked,
Oh my god.
and I played 2 bombs and 3 She-Hulks.
That's insane. That's like you got like
That, like, never happens, that'll never happen, but there was a lot of times where I played double She-Hulks, double bombs very easily, very easily.
45 power spread across,
Yeah.
just for reference, Doctor Doom, even the old one was 15 power spread out.
Yeah, this was
So you spread
that
out
was
45 power.
yeah, that was sick, and that was only 5 energy, like, I
Yeah.
forget if I played, like, a Nebula or a Misty Knight as well, but, like, I
Yeah, who
might have.
knows? Yeah.
I don't think I did because I don't think I had it in the
Mhm.
thing. And yeah, and even, like, just copying Wasp, like, a lot of games, like, you copy Abomination Wasp,
Mhm.
then you just have 2 Wasps, and they don't understand. They can't deal with that power.
Yeah, double wasp is great. Yeah.
Yeah, so this deck was really fun too.
Mhm. Yeah, that
Um,
thing looks sick. Yeah, there's a lot of good Evo, man. High Evo and Kitty Bounce are like crazy, crazy strong right now. I
yeah,
think
and Evo, there's, like, any
yeah,
Evo, there's, like, just the mid-range Evo like that,
yeah,
like, kinda like
any of the
that, or,
Evo
like, just
decks.
the regular one. Then there's
Mhm.
the Evo Lockjaw, which is, like, one of the best decks,
Yeah, yeah,
and then there's the, Evo Control, which is what you just ramped with,
yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen too much. Oh no, I did play a mirror match. I think on the way up, not in Infinity, but maybe in the Gold League.
Mhm.
I did play a mirror match, like another guy playing Control, but he was playing the Thing and Abomination in his Control deck. So,
Yeah.
but I think he cut Spiderman, and it was only playing Professor X. So Jeff was just giving him the business. Like he had no answer for the Jeff. Because he's just had Professor X only as his only control tool with
Yeah.
Daredevil. So that guy got dusted. But yeah, uh,
Jeff, the big bad.
it's so good. It's
They're
ridiculous.
good. Any other decks you played for fun this week?
No,
Or
that
were
was
you
it.
just
I
grinding?
I've been kind of busy outside of that.
Yeah.
Slash, playing Diablo with my fiance. But yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
but that was like yeah, I played like maybe 2-3 hours with this deck. So I played a lot of games. Even outside of Infinity, did a few like practice games before. Uh,
Yeah.
try to get see how I could use Jeff and incorporate him in there if he was even worth running. And yeah, he definitely worth running. Definitely a
This,
great card.
this deck, a Thanos Destroy list, this is the deck I played the most this week. I was having
Mhm.
so much fun with this list.
This
I
looks wild.
I freaking love this deck. It's so much
Mhm.
fun.
Mhm.
It's not that bad too, actually. I actually beat I beat I think in silver, nothing crazy. Maybe it was Proving Grounds, but anyways, it was like a legitimate run. I beat a high Evo Lockjaw with
Yeah,
this.
there's a interesting thing that if you destroy the card that gets zapped, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's almost like a counter in a way, right? Like if as long as it's not Nimrod, like if it's anything else that's not named Nimrod, and you're not playing Nimrod till later on in the game anyway, like after they're gonna play their minus cards, then you play
yeah,
Nimrod, right? So if
yeah.
you're
It's
just
great.
like Carnage, they zap something and then you Carnage it or you Deathlock it, like who cares, right?
Yeah,
And you take it away from their bomb too, so it's kind of like a
yeah,
natural counter in some ways, right?
yeah. So this list is Nova, Bucky Barnes, Carnage, Killmonger, Venom, Deathlock, Shang Chi, Nimrod, Arnim Zola, Null, Thanos, and Death.
Mhm.
I did originally have Sabretooth in here. I really wanted to play Sabretooth. I really wanted him to work in here, but he just wasn't performing in this version
Yeah.
with Nimrod. Without Nimrod, Sabretooth is good.
Hmm.
So I took him out and I had Arnim Zola out because I figured I had too many 6 drops, but Arnim Zola plus Null is a good win condition to
Hmm.
have either one. If you need to
Yeah, and
go
you got
wide, or
yeah.
you need to just choose one lane,
Mhm.
it's great. So just the 6 power on Nimrod's been actually awesome. Because especially if you Nova him, you can get up to 7. And then like just smashing Nimrods all over the place. It's such a fun time. So
Natural counter to 2099 as well.
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, if you Arnim Zola Nimrod, obviously you get 4. Your null gets huge. You can
Mhm,
time stone and then Nimrod on turn 4, time stone on 3, Nimrod 4. Then
mhm.
you can destroy him a lot more. It's just so much fun. Killmonger takes care of a lot of like the sunspots, nebulas, all those kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and also just clears your lane, clears
Mhm.
your board, clears all the stones away, so that death gets cheaper. Shang-Chi is great. He's one that like I was debating cutting, but there's
Mhm.
so many cards that are like just above 9 now running around.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just necessary. Like he's just needed,
Yeah, a
you
lot of the
know.
time, even, Collector, Monkey, like, are, like, over 9, like,
Yeah,
you know,
Angela.
a lot of evil cards, like, there's, like, 3 high evil cards that,
Yeah,
a Bomb She-Hulk,
yeah,
Hulk,
yeah,
all over 9,
yeah. And the bounce deck, yeah, Collector gets over 9, Bishop
Yeah,
gets over 9 a lot of the
yeah,
time, Monkey
yeah,
gets over 9, Angela
Angela.
gets over 9.
Angela
You
10
know,
is very common, like, she gets a 10 pretty easily in that
yeah,
10. If they play her on 2, she's probably gonna be a 10 at least.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Kitty gets above 9 a lot, but usually you don't have priority, so you
She's
can't
tough,
smash
yeah,
her.
you never have prio on 6 against that deck, that's the one thing,
Yeah.
but you could probably get a Shang off on turn 5 or on turn
Mhm.
6 with prio,
Yeah.
like, just inevitably one of those cards is gonna be over 9 probably.
Yeah. I mean, this deck is very easy to get death to 0 a lot of the
Mhm,
time, especially if you snipe a couple one drops with Killmonger on their end.
mhm,
And then you end up, if you have Nimrod, you can Arnim Zola death on the end. You can death Arnim Zola, you know, death null, anything. It's so good. You can null
mhm,
on 5 if you have time stone. Then you can
mhm,
Arnim Zola the null, and then when you kill the null, it doubles his power.
mhm.
So if you have a null, it's 10, and you Arnim Zola him, he becomes a two. It's a 40-point play on turn 6.
The Arnhem Nola,
Yes,
that's the
exactly.
classic combo, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times I find with this deck, I find I have priority, so I can
Yeah,
do those things without worry.
yeah.
There's been a couple times where I've gotten screwed. I'm like, if he shangs my like venom or whatever, then I'm like, if he does it, he does it. Whatever. I'm just gonna Arnim Zola, and I've gotten owned. But
Most of the top decks are kinda popping off on turn 6 these days again.
yeah,
Um, so, like, a lot of the time, they don't have prio, like, they're not even playing for prio at all, right? There's not, like, on
yeah,
reveal decks, right? So,
yeah,
they already used all their on reveal stuff, early on.
yeah. So this one, I don't know. Just been having a lot of fun with this deck.
Mhm.
This is like I'll probably just play it more this week because it's just like I think I said last week I was gonna play some Shuri, but then like I started playing this and I couldn't stop.
This deck's sick. I mean, and
I love destroying
They
stuff.
buff Venom and Death. Like, Death in this deck is, like, kinda you're using her as intended. Like, 8 power Death is a big deal as opposed to
Yeah,
9. Like,
yeah,
because it's,
huge.
like, that extra 1, like, means that you could get her to 0. Like, so many times, like, and even the 9 power should be, like, 1 or 2 power at the end. You're like, "Oh, shit. Imagine if she was 0," you know? And, like,
Yeah.
that buff is, like, a huge deal in this deck. Also, kinda counters Spider Ham a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah,
At
I
least
guess it.
it doesn't hit your null, right? It doesn't hit your Arnhem, so that's good.
Yeah, I forget the. I haven't really had it happen to me actually where
Mhm.
I don't remember if the death keeps its cost if it's been discounted. I think it does. I think Spider Ham like freezes in time basically.
Oh, okay, like, in that moment. That's interesting. I didn't know.
I
I haven't seen the
think,
interaction, yeah.
and like same with Null. Like if Null was a 610, I think he'd stay a 610 and just you'd
Well,
be a 610 pig.
that's for sure how it works with Hulk,
Because
so,
Hulk,
yeah.
I'd assume it works that way because that's how it works with Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know
I
whatever
think
reason I
Null
haven't
it
had
would
that
for
happen.
sure because Null is ongoing. I don't even know why that would matter though, right? Because
I mean,
once
Null's
the pig
ongoing, right?
that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it definitely would work with Null, but I don't know about Death.
Yeah.
But once they're a pig, they don't have ongoing, so I don't even know if that matters. So maybe you're right. Maybe it just
Yeah.
work with Death too.
I think what it does is it just takes a snapshot of that card in time and that's what it becomes. Cause like
Yeah.
if you have like a let's say like let's say Thanos, right? And
Mhm.
Thanos there's Elysium. So Thanos becomes a 5.
Yes.
If the 5 Thanos gets
510.
pigged, it
Mhm.
becomes a 510, but then with Elysium it goes down to a 4 because it becomes a new card that's 510. And then
Okay.
it's like brand new card snapshot in this time. Oh,
Yeah.
there's Elysium with this brand new card. It's a 4. Then it
This is a
becomes a 410.
yeah. So
That's an
it's
interaction that
just a
happens.
510 pig, yeah, because at that time it was a 510 pig, yeah.
Yeah, and then so it becomes a 410.
Yeah, I hope it works exactly like that because that's easy to understand and easy to play your own ham, and you kind of know what you're doing and
Yeah.
how it's going to affect their cards and what you're kind of trying to snipe. and also
Yeah.
easy to play around too. So
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense, and I hope it works like that for sure.
Yeah. So this was a fun deck. And
Mhm.
then on Monday, 2099 came out, baby.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
picked them
played a
up,
little
huh?
bit with the Black Bolt Stature, but it felt okay. But I haven't played him in Move at all. I imagine he's probably really good in Move deck.
I
Uh,
just I don't I love move, but I'm just refusing to play move until I get Jeff.
yeah, I don't think you need Jeff for Move. I
No,
think
you don't.
most Move decks I think don't use Jeff or
I know.
Nightcrawler, for example. Like you could
That's
use
why
Nightcrawler as an example. They don't use Nightcrawler, right? So
that's why they're shit.
yeah, maybe. Yeah,
You need the big bad in
yeah.
there.
I mean, I'm never gonna argue against putting Jeff in the deck at this point.
Yeah,
You know,
not now that
especially
you
because
have
he
him.
carried me. He carried me.
So I just have him in. I think Jeff Hoagland put up a Thanos. Obviously, I got to do friggin' Thanos. I love
Mhm.
Thanos. This was just like similar to like my list that I was just showing you. I'm like, oh, okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna throw him in here. It's
Yeah,
a Thanos move destroy the 2099.
that's
It's
wild.
got Bucky Barnes, Carnage, Wolverine, Ghost Spider, Killmonger, Venom, Deathlock, Shang-Chi, 2099, Null, Thanos, and Death. So there's
Mhm.
two activators for what's his name? 2099. You have Ghost Spider and then the Space Stone
Yeah,
from
Space
Thanos.
Stone. Mhm.
So it actually like it's kind of fun. He does all right in this deck. Like
Mhm.
I think overall, the last deck I showed was, I think actually not. I think it is a much better deck. The other one, just
Mhm.
the straight destroy one. This one's fun as hell though. It's great, and it's not the most optimal shell for 2099 at all. I
Right.
don't think at
Mhm.
all. Um, but I don't know. The 4/6 power is nice. I've seen a lot of people say he's just a worse Shang Chi. I mean, he's got three more power. Yes, you have to like do something to activate him, and he can only destroy one thing.
Yeah, I mean,
You
that's just
know,
not yeah, you can't say that. He's a 4/6. It's a totally different card, right?
yeah, that's
Like,
what I think too.
you gotta
That's what
compare
I'm
him
saying. It's
to,
like,
White Queen and Iron Lad. Like, that's what you compare him to. Shang-Chi's a 4/3. I mean, it's a different league,
yeah,
of card.
yeah. So I think we'll see. We'll see. He's not like I think he's pretty good. Did you play with him at all?
Just a little bit, yeah, and
Yeah,
I would say my first instinct would say, probably better card than White Queen, honestly. Like,
yeah,
I know people love White Queen, but she really. How often do you actually use the 6 drop? Like, it's nice to see what it is. The
yeah,
intel is nice, but it's a +2 on your Dino, and hopefully you get Dino, right? So
yeah,
that requires a combo too. It's not like she just like works on her own. The only thing that works on her own for her is the fact that she's a 4/6. Well, so is Spider-Man 2099.
yeah,
So I don't know. I mean, natural Zabu fits more naturally with White Queen, I guess. But I would say maybe Iron Lad's better just because Iron Lad just pops off like crazy. But
yeah,
not to say 2099 can't pop off like crazy. I mean, if it hits hard, like if it hits
yeah.
something that matters, like it's popping off
Dracula.
way harder than Iron Lad can. So like if it hits
Yeah,
a Dracula, for example, like
yeah,
that's better than anything Iron Lad could do. So
yeah.
uh,
So I think I saw some creators have him in like a just a move shell and
mhm.
did very well with it.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
think it's got to
I
be.
haven't played around with him enough. I
No,
think
neither have I.
he's, and then oh, to your White Queen point before I forget, we have a
Mhm.
1/1 card now that does the exact same thing. It's called Spider Ham. If you want to see their top card, their top cost card.
It's almost better because at least because Spider Ham like actually messes up their hand too. Like
Yeah.
they still get to play the card with White Queen. Like
Yeah.
you don't steal it.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine White Queen stole the card. That would be crazy.
I just stole it straight up.
Just straight up stole it out of their hand. That'd be sick, actually.
That couldn't be a 4/6, I don't think.
No, no, but yeah, if she was a 4/4 or something, but stole the card, I mean, that'd be insane.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I so 2099, do you think people should buy it? Smash or pass for 3,000 tokens?
I would say it depends on their token situation. I would say
And we got the
they should buy Ham ahead of it for sure, in my
I
opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
it's just
Ham is an easy 3,000. Like if you have
yeah.
extra tokens, if you're not saving for something that's 6,000 that you really want
Mhm.
and you have extra tokens to spare, I think Ham's an easy 3,000. Easy.
Yeah, I think Ham Dark. Well, maybe wait till these new Spotlight caches come out for Darkhawk Null, but like I think Darkhawk over him, and then Null is like debatable. If you love Destroy, obviously Null, over him. Those would be the three that I don't know.
I
But
wouldn't.
I hadn't played around with them enough. But I would say Darkhawk and him I would take over him. But if you already
Yeah,
have those cards, or maybe you want to wait for Spotlight Cash to see if Darkhawk and Null will be in them, because I think they probably will on the first or second one, because they held them in Series 4 and everyone was outraged. So
yeah,
I think they're going to be like, see, this is why we're pay to
yeah.
win.
I mean,
Like
that's
yeah,
why they did it. I mean, we'll.
yeah,
I forgot to mention in the intro because I'm an idiot. We definitely have to talk about the spotlight caches. We'll
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about those later on, but
Mhm,
um, yeah, Spider-Man 2099. I think I agree with you 100%. I think if you're
mhm.
gonna go look at Series 4 cards for 3,000 tokens,
Yeah.
Darkhawk's got to be number one on your radar. He's just so versatile. You could put him in so many decks. Spider Ham's up there right now. I mean, he's only been out for a week, so maybe it's just because he's new and we're like, oh, it's a good card. He's fun.
I don't
He's
know,
good.
man. I would say as a guy I have Master Mold and I've played around with them. I have Factor. Well, these are 3K. These are 3K. And I
But
didn't even bring up Snow Guard. I
you
haven't brought up Snow Guard yet.
you
That's a
fucking
3K.
hate Master Mold so
No, I don't
much.
hate them. I'm just saying I'm comparing the 3Ks. I'm not trying to
I
trip
know.
the board. But just like Master Mold and
Oh,
Stature specifically,
yeah.
I think 2099 is a better card than those two. And it might be a hot take. There's no stats to back it up. Stature actually is a pretty good statistical card.
Yeah, Satcher's
But
good still.
I still think I would personally buy 2099 over Stature. I happen to pull Stature when she was
Yeah.
Series 4, so
Yeah.
I didn't have to buy her luckily, but yeah.
I agree with you. I don't know who's better. Probably Stature is probably better, maybe like, but
I don't know,
I
man.
I
The move deck's really strong now,
yeah,
though.
I
Like I
would
think
buy
move is like a tier 2 deck, like really
yeah.
strong.
I would
Mhm.
buy 99 over Stature in a
Yeah.
second just
I
cuz
think
it's a
the move
fun as
deck
hell
is
card.
I think the move deck's better than the stature deck currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I maybe I'll play more move this week. I always say I'm going to play Dex and I just would change my mind, but like I was having too much fun with Destroy, but this guy for sure, I want to play him. I want to give Move a good shot and just play him
Yeah. I
because
played
yeah,
a decent
he's
amount. My first infinite run from I did proving to silver to gold. So the
yeah.
six it went 6-0 and it was with move. And it
Hmm,
felt really, really strong. And I didn't have 2099 in the deck because
yeah.
he wasn't out. So
Yeah.
I think it's a powerful deck and like it's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, I would love him in like a Move kind of maybe like Zabu hybrid. I don't know if a Zabu would work with him.
Yeah. That's what I
With
was thinking with the stature one. That's what I'll play Zabu, right? Yeah.
yeah, him maybe in a Zabu deck and then have like an Iron Fist and Ghost Spider,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like a cloak if you depending on your other stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, if you have in a move deck, you have so many like stuff to activate him. You have Iron Fist, you have Cloak, you have Ghost Spider now.
Oh, yeah, you never have to worry.
Heimdall.
Yeah. Even the
You could
fact that he's
just
a 6, you might be able to Doctor Strange him, like because he's a 6.
yeah, you
Yeah.
could dude, you could scare the shit out of people.
Mhm.
Like you could just put him down on 4 and leave him, and
Mhm.
then you're threatening Heimdall
Yeah.
to kill their stuff. You put him in the if they have a good thing in the left lane, you put him in the middle lane, and you just make them shit.
Yeah, then they're gonna start loading up on the left, and then you just let them have left and just take the
Yeah,
other 2 lanes, yeah.
that's it.
Or you, like, Ghost Spider right or something, and
Yeah, yeah, or
just
Cloak.
just kill something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cloak or Ghost
So
Spider right.
I think he's a pretty, I don't think he's going to be one of the top cards ever. I think I'd really at this point I think Spider Ham's better than him just because it's a one drop and it gives you information. It's just more versatile.
For
He's
sure, yeah.
definitely not versatile. He's definitely a tech card.
Yeah.
I definitely don't regret spending 3K tokens on him, but I would say if you're not all about move and he's one that you can definitely wait to I think not spend 3K on it and be fine.
Yeah, to me, he's like a B. He's like a. If I had to grade it, I'd give it like a B or a B plus or
Yeah,
something. Like as a
yeah,
Series 4, nice way to spend your tokens. I'd
yeah,
buy Ham first. I'd probably buy Darkhawk, but that's about it. Honestly, I think you could debate him
yeah,
over all the rest of the Series 4 cards,
yeah.
other
Ham
than
you just
Darkhawk
put
and Ham.
because Ham I think you can just put in any deck almost and
Yeah,
still him be pretty good. Like not every deck, but like you can
mhm,
put him in a lot of decks and he'll be
yep.
fine. You can't just put Spider-Man 2099 in any deck. Like I could not put him in my Thanos Destroy deck.
I forget who
He'll,
I was looking at, but somebody did an Infinity run and they got through, and they were playing like a Galactus deck with Spider Ham in it. I'm like, I don't even like this is crazy, but like it makes sense. You just put Ham in the deck, like whatever. Like it's like Spider Ham doesn't belong in Galactus, or does he? Like I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what belongs in Galactus anymore?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're trying to figure that out. It was like a ramp deck. That's what it was. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
electro ramp,
yeah,
and Galactus was kind of like an alternate win condition. If they
yeah,
you wait till the third or fourth game to drop them, basically. But it was just doing normal electro ramp stuff. And one of the early game cards was Spider Ham. Basically, he's replaced Iceman at this point. I think that's just what's happened.
yeah.
He's
And
just
I,
better. He's a slightly better Iceman.
yeah, is he like I don't know. Yeah, yeah, he probably is.
I think he
I
is.
don't.
I think he is.
I think he is too. I think
Mhm.
we got to see him a little more, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, just getting that information is so key, and just screwing everything up for your opponent, like Sarah and stuff like that. Oh, discard, poor discard, man. The APOC just gets owned.
I was playing both. I was playing him and Iceman in my first iteration of Kitty Bounce, and
Yeah.
it felt really good when I took Iceman out of the deck. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. It just feels
Hmm.
great now.
Hmm. Yeah, I think he's the best in bounce.
Mhm.
But so yeah, 2099. I would say not regret. I would not regret spending 3,000. I would
Yeah,
definitely not spend 6,000 on him
yeah, I
at
agree,
all.
100%. Yeah.
3,000 is debatable, but I don't regret spending 3,000 on him.
Mhm.
He'll
Honestly,
be a
he's probably better than Silk. I have Silk. I'd probably rather have 2099 over Silk, just ignoring token costs, just
yeah.
card for card. I think this card's cooler and probably just better than Silk. Maybe I don't know. Silk's interesting, but yeah, I don't know. This card's crazy, man. It kills a card. Like it's four
I
six.
feel like I feel like Silk is going to be more versatile than this card.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Once the masses get Silk and decks start being made, I feel
Yeah,
like Silk's going to be put in a lot more decks than
Thor
him.
and
I think
Sarah.
yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
more niche, I think.
Mhm.
Like you can't just throw him like he has to be part of a package. Kind of like Darkhawk. You can't just throw Darkhawk by himself in a deck
Yeah,
because then he's going to be a 4/6 at the end of the game or like a four
true.
four.
Yeah.
You have to have a package with him.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I like him a lot. I think he's fun. Get out there and kill stuff. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention about him is people were upset that like, oh, he doesn't kill more than one thing. It's like
Mhm.
he would be OP as hell if he killed more than one thing.
Like the best card in the game, I think.
If you could move him from lane to lane and start killing things, like he would just be he would be so OP. Even as a 4/0, you could start killing if you could just move him around. You put him in a move deck.
That'd be an interesting card as a 4/0 though, because he's a 4. He's still a 4, right? Like it's hard. It's like Nimrod, right? Like it's like, how many times can you move a 4? Like.
Oh my god, you can Iron Fist, you can cloak, you can
Yeah, that's the
Doctor.
thing.
Can't
Cloak,
Doctor Strange.
Heimdall, yeah,
Yeah,
Ghost Spider. Yeah, you actually can move it a lot.
dude, you can start raping things. It'd be like Gambit
Yeah,
Wong.
yeah, that would be insane. Yeah,
Like even like if you bounce him back and like, oh, he can't kill another person if he goes back in your hand. It's like, dude, if he could kill more than one thing, he would be OP as hell.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
People, and then who would do that anyway? Like, who the hell bounces Shang Chi back in their
Mhm.
deck and kills
Yeah,
things? Mind
no,
you, it's
yeah,
like got to be more 9 power cards, but still,
hmm
like it's just stuff that doesn't happen.
hmm
Um, but yeah, he's great, and I Spider Man. You know how I hated that he got nerfed. I had an idea for him. He's probably gonna stay. He's probably fine the way he is now as a 5/4.
yeah.
But I thought a cool change for him would be if we put him back as a 4 cost and drop his power to like a 4/1 maybe or 4/2,
hmm
and then like his text is on reveal. Your opponent can't play cards at this location next turn,
hmm
and then after that it says can move once, but then does the same effect.
Oh God, that's broken.
But if he's like a 4/0,
Broken. You could
you
do it
think
twice.
so?
You could lock down two different turns.
Yeah, you can move him once whenever you want.
That's a -2. I think
No,
that's broken.
but if you play him early though, like say you play him on a 3 with Zabu, like you're
Yeah.
locking down one lane one time. It's not that big of a deal. Like
But
how
then
often?
the next turn you lock down another lane, just to clarify what you're
Well, you
saying.
could. You have to move him, and it'd be another lane.
Yeah, that's
Whatever
busted.
lane he move, because he can web sling over. Psh.
I I like that he web slings, but the fact that he locks down a lane the second time, maybe you just move him, you know, if you
Yeah,
want
but
if
it's
you
not
want
as
the two
cool.
power or whatever.
It's not as cool.
Mhm.
I like the double
I
lock.
would love it if he could move for sure, but,
Yeah, because I guess
if he moves
I
and locks down again, that's
yeah,
crazy. That's
maybe it is
crazy.
crazy, and I'm probably just really biased because I love Spider-Man.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that that's
the
nuts.
one thing the reason why I thought about it is because I've had people play Spider-Man early on me, and then I
Mhm,
just don't usually care.
mhm,
I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just not play in that lane this turn, and then the next turn I'll just play in that lane.
mhm.
So if he locks down another lane, my thought would be like, yeah, who cares? The first lane they can just play in that lane, but it's probably broken.
Yeah, that's nuts,
But
man.
anyways, I thought that was a fun.
Yeah.
All right, back to the lab for the
No,
kid.
that's okay, that's okay. Well, I don't know, I just played, like, yeah, like I said, I had Spider-Man in my deck, but he's still really
Yeah,
good at
yeah.
sometimes
I know,
playing
I
him,
know,
so
I know. That's what I mean. That's why I said he's probably just gonna stay the way he is 'cause
yeah.
he's still pretty good.
It's nice to have, the option between him and Professor X I was finding, like, a lot of time when I
Mm,
had both,
mhm.
they do actually do different things. Um, Spider-Man, the main thing you have with Spider-Man is, you could just fearlessly play him into a lane. You don't care if they play it because you could just play again on the next turn, in the same lane. So,
Yeah.
if you have Spider-Man and Hulk, like, it doesn't matter what they do. That lane is over. So,
Yeah.
and Professor X is sometimes a gamble, right? So Professor X is more like Daredevil, like better with Daredevil
Yeah.
because it totally locks it down.
Yeah.
Because they can still move in and stuff with with Spider-Man, right? It doesn't totally lock it down, other
Yep.
than Jeff, the big bad, obviously.
I was
But
saying and the big bad, unless you're holding
yeah,
the big
big bad.
bad.
Let's not talk about that. Spider-Man gives you like a nice option. Like he won so many games where I'm like, I'm just gonna play Spider-Man here. And it's nice that he's 4 power because I need the
Yeah.
power. And then I'm just gonna play like next turn I'll play like like Luke Cage Misty Knight there, for another 4 power. And that's
Yeah.
enough to win the lane because they can't play there on turn 6.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I don't know, he's kind of nice, but yeah, they did kind of massacre your boy. Like look at my boy. They massacred my boy. Like they did massacre your boy, and he's definitely worse now for sure.
Spider-Man? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah.
He's got this cool excellent variant, so
That looks good. Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to get
Okay.
him I need more credits. Trying to get him inked.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Play the lockdown. You're crushed.
I
But
need
all right,
credits.
kid, do you want to do top 10?
We do top 10 or we could talk about the spotlight caches. What do you want to do?
Let's do top 10
All right,
first,
let's
because
do a
that's
top
more of
10.
a casual convo about the caches, right?
Yeah.
Let's do top 10 cards. Rock
All
and
right.
roll.
Top 10 cards that we feel like are top 10 probably in the meta right now.
Hmm.
This is ever changing and none of us know what we chose. Um so yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with honorable mentions because I think, I'm pretty sure you probably have some honorable mentions. I think I do. Like
Yeah,
I don't think there's any set in stone 10,
it's
I
tough
think
to do 10, man. It's tough to do 10, and we don't have the underlying data, on the cards, like
yeah. And
Uh,
I think that there's gonna be cards probably in your top 5 that aren't even in my top 10 and vice versa probably.
yeah.
There's so many cards, I'm sure I forgot about some.
Mhm.
Um, so my here's my honorable mentions. Yeah, I'll go to say all my honorable mentions. Then we'll go
Okay.
you say all yours. Then we'll go one by one on the top 10. So my first honorable mention, the one that I have to say, the other ones are kind of like whatever, but this one's like the first one that I wanted to put in the top 10 and
Yeah.
I just for me I couldn't find a spot. It's Sarah.
Yeah.
Um I was debating her on 10 and 9 and like I'm like, she'd be like 11,
Yeah.
I think Sarah's awesome, but didn't make my top 10. The other
Sarah's
honorable men Oh, go ahead.
Sarah's wild because it's one of those cards that
Yeah.
since the game came out has for
Yeah.
sure been a top 10 card.
Mhm.
But just spoiler alert, I don't have her in mine either. And it's
Yeah.
like it's just at this moment in time
Yeah.
only. We got
Exactly.
this wave change like really bones her pretty hard.
Yeah.
And it seems like the kitty bounce just kind of overpowers her a little bit. Like that's a slightly better way to play Hitmonkey.
Yeah.
And so it's Sarah's just a little bit of a awkward spot right now.
Yeah.
I
I
still
still
think
think
I still think she's pretty good though.
yeah, and I still think that if she was in a top 10, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be like
No,
surprised.
yeah, I wouldn't be mad about it either. Yeah,
My
yeah,
other ones that aren't really, they're just honorable mentions, not as much as Sarah. I have Killmonger.
yeah. Same.
I think he's a really good card.
Yeah.
Again, I was debating,
Yeah.
but didn't make top 10 for me. I have Hitmonkey
Mhm.
in there. Again, great card in the meta now. I couldn't fit him in there. I just there.
Yeah.
He could be in the. He could be like he could be
Yeah.
top five too. Like he's just a really good card, but like
He's a beast. Yeah.
I couldn't squeeze him in.
Mhm.
Chavez I have in there.
Oh yeah, Chavez. I didn't think
Great
of that.
card. It's in so many decks right now. It's in
Mhm.
just Chavez in a lot of decks. Like just the meta is so crazy. There's a ton of decks that run Chavez now.
Yeah.
Great card, but couldn't squeeze her in.
Mhm.
Another honorable mention. Now the more fringe honorable mentions for me, which I come into my bias. Death is one that I wanted to put. I wanted to put her in there.
Oh, that's a
I
spicy one.
Yeah, I think she's great.
Yeah, she's good.
Um,
I
you
like
know,
Death a lot too. I think that's an underrated card for sure.
and yeah, me too. She's
I
just
I
feels so
put her
good
in
to
a lot
play.
of decks like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people don't put like they leave out Death, but that's kind of
yeah.
crazy.
And then the really fringe ones for me, honorable mentions. Uh, I think just an honorable mention, maybe not for top 10. Goose, I think, it just does work. And I think
Mhm.
it's a very underrated card. I don't think
Yeah,
enough people play Goose. It's a really good control card.
yeah, Goose is sick.
And then the most fringe honorable mention for me, again, just my bias, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to do some explaining. This is a spicy one. Carnage.
Oh yeah, no,
And
that's legit. I like
the
that.
the reason why I say Carnage,
Mhm.
I don't think Carnage is a top 10, but I think Carnage is up there. And I think
Mhm.
Carnage is underrated. A two drop,
Mhm.
you know, played in, every destroy deck. Every single destroy deck has Carnage. You know,
And Junk and Sentry and yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Junk decks, there's a Galactus junk deck running around. There's a lot of
yeah.
junk decks running around. There's a lot of Sentry decks running around.
Sentry deck
All of
seems pretty
them,
strong too. Yeah.
yeah, all of them run Carnage.
Mhm.
And then he just, Carnage just gets, Thanos list. He just gets rid of space and crap in your lanes,
Mhm.
and he's used as a destroyer. And is only two mana or
Mhm.
energy. So I think Carnage is an underrated card. I don't think it's a top 10, but I just wanted to mention my boy Carnage.
Yeah. All right.
Those are my honorable mentions.
I like those. Those are all really good cards. Definitely, I would say Death and Carnage are spicy, but I like it because they
Yeah.
are really good. Like they're
Yeah.
ridiculous cards.
Yeah.
Um, okay, mine.
I think you can make the case for Death to go in top 10. I think you can make a
Mhm.
case, but not Carnage.
Yeah, it just depends how good the destroy deck is, right? And it
Yeah.
depends how you want to make your list that way, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you could play her in Thanos too, so it's kind of I don't know. She's really good.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I also have Killmonger. I think he was like my 11. Um, that just I couldn't do it. The only reason I don't have
Yeah.
Killmonger in the top 10 is because I don't know how much the kitty bounce dodges it really good. And the Evo decks, they do get hurt by Killmonger, but they don't just like auto lose to it. You know what I mean? And there were a lot of times in the meta where Killmonger just won you the game outright, and it
Yeah.
just doesn't
Yeah.
feel like one of those times right now.
No.
So but just if I just take Killmonger and I read the text of the card, that's a top 10 card. That was an absolutely absurd effect.
Yeah.
So like, kill all one cost. 1/6 of the cards of the game are freaking one cost. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like what a stupid text. Like this is, I think my prediction in the next year is it will get tuned at some point. But we're just not at a point where in the meta where it matters right now. Kitty
Yeah.
dodges it. Spider Ham doesn't care about your Killmonger at all. So and those are
Yeah.
like two of the top one costs. So
Yeah.
Killmonger. My next honorable mention is Lockjaw. Um, I think Lockjaw is sick,
That's a good
but
one.
I just don't know how good he is after the Doom nerf, and I'm just kind of waiting and seeing. I've been a little bit underwhelmed with the High Evo Lockjaw list, and Lockjaw's even before High Evo came out, Lockjaw was still one of the Lockjaw was still one of the top decks. Um, Maybe not top tier, but it's always had like 55+% win rate. Obviously Thanos Lockjaw ran the meta, but that was a different kind of Lockjaw. It was a different card back then, and you had
Yeah.
zero cost cards from the Quinjet craziness. But
Yeah.
so yeah, Lockjaw. Um, I originally had this next card at number 7, um, but I ended up taking him out in favor of some other cards, which was Spider Ham. And it's just, it's new. And I know the card's really good,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'm ready to call it a top 10 yet. And I'm just looking at the other, I chose a couple other bounce cards over him, just 'cause I don't wanna put all bounce cards in my top 10, you know
Spoiler
what I mean?
alert.
Yeah, I wanna give a little some teasers to my list too, you
Yeah.
know? So, give it the thing. The next card is a spicy one, and I said, Vulture.
Oh, hey, it's a
So,
good card.
we talked about it earlier. I think Move is legit tier 2, like, it's just a good ass deck,
I
and
think
I
so, yeah.
honestly sat down and thought, like, "What is the best card in Move?" Like, I don't think it's Juggernaut, and I started looking up card stats, and Juggernaut does not have very good stats. Now, in the
No.
hands of someone like Molt who's mastered the Move deck, it's probably,
Yeah.
like, a phenomenal card for him, right? Because he just
Yeah.
knows exactly how people play against Move, he knows all the play patterns. But I don't know, just for me, when I played it, it felt slightly underwhelming. Vulture's always good. He's a 3 cost. He can't get
Yeah.
Killmonger like Human Torch. He goes +5 every time he moves. If you move him once, he's a 3/8. He cannot
Yeah.
get Shang-Chi'd.
Yeah.
It's like if you're trying to dodge Shang-Chi, you may just make him a 3/8 and you're chilling. If you want to
Yeah.
go nuts with him, he's like a 3/26. Like it's just ridiculous, man. The Vulture, you're never if you're playing a move deck, you're always happy to play Vulture and you're
Yeah.
always happy to get your Vulture popping off. And he's like the least conditional card out of all of them because like Craven's super conditional.
Yeah.
Dagger relies on your opponent's spaces. So I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Vulture just feels crazy, and I've seen people tech like just Iron Fist Vulture into a deck,
Yeah.
in like a not move deck as well. So to me, I think Vulture is the best move card. So I just want to honorable mention him. Um,
A few months ago, Freddy Babes popularized that deck. Just randomly threw an Iron Fist Vulture,
he did a few
and
decks like that, just
and
Iron Fist Vulture, yeah. And
I'm
he would
on
do that with like Colleen Swarm as well, like
yeah.
cool stuff like that. Just a
I'm on
good
the same
value.
page. Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I think
Mhm.
Vulture definitely up there for top move card.
Yeah.
Me, maybe I would say Iron Fist just because one drops are so
Yeah,
fucking
that
versatile. You can
Iron
play
Fist is
them
nuts too. Yeah,
anytime.
that's a good
But
one. Yeah.
but that's just within a move shell. Like
Yeah.
Vulture, I think yeah, you because just the fact that you move him once is a 3/8. It's amazing.
He's crazy. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
better Maximus.
yeah,
You move him once. It's so easy to move
yeah,
him once.
yeah,
And there's so many ways now with Ghost Spider to move him once.
yeah.
And then the last two, just I have Iron Man and Wave. Just
Oh,
classic
nice.
cards. I
Yeah,
don't
wave.
know.
Wave's a good one.
Well, Wave. I don't. I'm just. I don't know. But with the change, I don't know how good it is. Still, it still feels even with the Kitty Bounce when I was playing Kitty Bounce and people
Yeah,
would wave me. If it's Conquest, it doesn't feel that bad because now I just know to dump on 5, and
uh,
and I'll just play like
yeah,
Iron Man on
yeah.
6, you know?
I
So,
was just gonna say that. There's like tiers
yeah,
now of the cards.
mhm.
Ladder, waves, insane.
Insane in ladder,
Insane.
yeah. In dummy
Wave,
Sarah too,
insane.
yeah.
Conquest, not
Mhm.
that good.
Yeah,
Because you just don't lose 8 cubes on it the one time.
yeah,
You see the wave once, you're dumping on 5. They're playing wave on 5. You're
mhm,
playing what? Even if you play like what Hit Monkey, something else, and Mysterio on 5,
mhm.
that's like what 6, 8. Your Hit Monkey's a 2/8 plus the Mysterio stats plus the other one drop you played, and then
Yes.
they're play. That's like what 10, 12 stats, and then they're
You
playing
you
three,
could put out like 20 power on 5, legit,
and they're
like, yeah,
playing and they're
yeah.
playing 3.
Yeah,
Or you
exactly.
play your Kitty. You play
Mhm,
Kitty Pride, Mysterio, and Hit Monkey,
mhm,
and they're playing wave.
yeah.
Good
Because
luck.
if your Monkey and Mysterio are basted, like Mysterio's 9 and Monkey starts with 3 head start. So
Yeah,
Mysterio's 9 and Monkey's 11.
yeah,
Like that's 20 power, like.
yeah,
So yeah, it gets crazy and then you could just play like Iron Man on or Chavez. You're always drawing
yeah,
Chavez. So you at
yep,
least have 9 to play on
yep.
with your waved card at the end. So
Yep. Or
um
if your kitty is higher than your Chavez, you can just play the hit kitty as your last card too.
yeah. So I don't know. That's why Wave is kind of like, if this was like a month ago, I think Wave would be a top 10 card,
Yeah, because
especially
there's
with the
no
old Wave.
conquest.
Yeah. What?
Because there was no conquest.
There was no conquest, but even
That's
the
what.
death wave shit was
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
right? Like and the
yeah,
She-Hulk wave, all this stuff. So,
yeah,
um, yeah. So that's my honorable mentions.
yeah. If you're grinding the ladder, waves
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah, she is. Still, yeah, still feels really good. That's why honorable mention. But yeah.
That's great.
All right.
All
So,
right. The
kid,
top
what do you
10
got at 10?
at 10 was
Mhm.
one of your honorable mentions actually.
Nice.
Lockjaw.
Yeah, yeah. Sick card.
I think
I got
he's
him
just
at
a
12.
yeah, he's just a sick card. And again, like I'm glad we're kind of like
Mhm,
close with those. Like
mhm,
he's one like yeah, I almost didn't have him in. Then I was debating putting Sarah in over him, and I'm like
mhm,
I don't know. I'm like he's just
mhm,
so good right now. He's just
mhm,
so good right now in any shell. In a Thanos shell, he's good still. in the high evil lockjaw is just one of the best decks in the game.
Yep.
He's just a really good card. I don't think he's broken by any means. It's
Mhm.
just the stuff he can do and how you can cheat stuff out, especially with Evil Wasp, is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Get the
And
honor
then
deal. It's insane now.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get especially with Thor and Jane, you get friggin' Jane on 5, and you get your Wasp back again
Mhm.
for another
Yep.
-2 onto your opponents. It's devastating. And the lockjaw just makes all that possible.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
that's my number 10.
Mjolnir into the lockjaw, like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just really good right now. I think he's just a great. I think he's a top 10 card. You know.
So I love that, and yeah, I had him on my, I have him at 12 basically.
Yeah.
I wanted to include at least one tech card in mine. I don't want to do all power. So
Yeah.
I put the tech card of choice. I put Luke Cage at 10. Lucas Cage.
Oh, all
I know
right.
you hate him, but
I
this
do.
card on my infinite run,
Yeah.
man, 4 out of the 5 decks had Luke Cage in it, including mine. Mine too. But yeah. And the one guy that didn't have it I ran him over like it was a joke. So
Yeah.
high evo, it's high evo season. What can we do? High evo's crazy, and this Luke Cage card, gives it some problems.
Yeah.
and
I
he's
think
and
that.
he's 2 power, and he's 2 power, and now instead
Yeah.
of 1 before.
Yeah. I think that's a good take. And the reason
Mhm.
why I didn't even cross my mind is because I play so much destroy that when my
Mhm.
cards lose energy, I just kill them.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't
This
matter.
card this card is
I
useless
don't.
against destroy.
I don't need Luke Cage.
No, I just try to pick
But
what
that's a
is the
good.
tech card of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good card. Actually, I
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
Why don't you tell me your number 9?
Okay. I got Darkhawk at number 9.
Me too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got Hawk at 9.
Wow, interesting.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy. We did not discuss this before at all.
No.
All right, well, I just think I'm
What can you
looking at the
say?
forecasts. I'm
Yeah.
looking at all the forecasts. What's the best forecast in the game? I think it's Darkhawk.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
think
straight
so
up. I
too.
just think he's the best. I don't see anything. I don't even know if it's that close. Because it used to be Shuri.
Yeah.
It's not, but even when Shuri Darkhawk was close because he was a 4-1 and still pretty busted even back. And especially with old Zabu, you could argue Darkhawk is even better than Shuri with the
Yeah.
old Zabu.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
He was a
so
2 cost.
yeah, I mean, it might have been the best card in the game at that. Well, Zabu
Oh,
was the
he
best, but
was.
like he would have been the second best card in the game in that meta. So yeah, I
Oh,
still
he's
think he's really good. I don't
yeah.
know, man. He's just a 4, like pretty reliably like 4-8, 4-10,
Yeah.
and Mystique can copy him. And the way you power him up, like, because with Devil Dino, I still think Devil Dino is pretty good. But
Yep.
with Devil Dino, when you power up a Devil Dino, it doesn't affect your opponent negatively. It's only your own
Yep.
hand. But when
Yep.
you power up a Dark Hawk, you're making your opponent miserable. If they draw one hawk, or one rock, sorry,
Yeah.
like you're laughing. Like this card is just it's stupid value if they draw a single rock instead
Yep.
of the card they actually wanted.
Yep. And not only the card, like just to build on what you said, like not
Mhm,
only is it an amazing 4 drop that is, routinely 4, 8, 10,
mhm,
especially if you get like Korg and Rockslide. But
mhm.
yeah, you're disrupting them as you're making them bigger.
Mhm.
And you can copy the card's effect with
Yeah,
Mystique. And then
yeah,
if you copy the card's effect, the other cards work with Mystique as well,
yeah.
like Rockslide and Cork. So you're powering up 2 cards, all
Mhm,
because of Darkhawk.
mhm,
You're powering up all these cards, and you're disrupting your opponent, and it's ridiculous.
mhm.
Like if Darkhawk didn't exist, you wouldn't be playing Rockslide and Korg.
No,
Like you just wouldn't be
no, never.
playing.
You'd never play, especially Rockslide. Especially Rockslide.
Yeah,
Rockslide would not see any play whatsoever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least like if there was no Rockslide and Korg, Darkhawk would be worse. But you
Mhm,
could play like Handlock deck. You could play like Black Widow and stuff like that, so that or like Master Mold to try and
mhm.
stifle their draws and fill their hand so that their deck is bigger.
Yeah.
Or you just roll Subterranea every game.
Yeah, yeah, there are some roles that help him out a lot, but they did nerf that a bit. So that's
Yeah,
why he's at 9 and not at, like,
and
4, you
yeah,
know?
that's
Yeah.
another thing too. And like there's locations that just make him OP.
Yeah, yeah. All the ones that
Vibranium mines,
add 3 to deck, like,
yeah,
yeah,
Vibranium mines,
Vibranium, yeah, all that.
Subterranea, and then the other stupid one that adds rock. Yeah,
Lekugia or whatever. Lekugia.
Lechugia,
Lechugia.
Lechugia. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, great. I love how we had that both the same.
that's hilarious. Yeah, I wonder if there's
Uh,
gonna be any more, overlap. That'd be funny.
I doubt it. I wonder if there's gonna be somewhere we're like, bro, we
Mhm.
just feel like we're idiots. We'll see.
Yeah.
Number 8. You want me to, I'll go number 8.
Sure, yeah.
Uh, Storm.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you know, at least for sure a couple weeks ago, this could have probably been higher near the beginning of
Mhm.
the season before there was the nerf to Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Storm was just just taking the world by storm.
Yeah, she was.
Just
She was insane.
lockdown just such a good archetype right now. And
Mhm.
Storm's like one of the main cards you need to do good, or to win almost anything. Because like you always say, like, oh, for the evil control, you just got to win the storm lane. You just got to get the storm lane down, and then you're gravy.
Yeah.
So it's just getting the storm lane. Everything's so important. Just for the control that it gives you, taking away, your other opponent's ability to play cards. It's just great. You even play Storm and Surfer.
Mhm.
With the Juggernaut combo.
Yep.
I just think Storm's just a really good card.
Yeah, she's insane. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good pick. I like that. My pick's a little. This is my maybe only spicy one, honestly. The rest are pretty normal.
that's okay.
I don't know even how spicy this is. I put Thor at 8.
Thor's pretty good.
I was thinking about this, man. Thor is broken, man. This card's broken. I remember like 3 months ago, Dara put Thor in a deck that was like he took an infinite on the first day,
Yeah,
and it was not a lockjaw deck, and it didn't have Jane Foster. He's like,
yeah.
I just want to put good cards in a deck, and it just Thor was the 3 drop. Because you think
Thor's
about
great.
it, the maths are crazy on this card. So say you play him on 3, and let's say because you play him on 3 is a condition, right? But let's say you
Yeah,
don't play Jane Foster at all, because obviously Jane Foster makes him crazy, right? And you could
yeah,
with Lockjaw, you could get 2 Mjolnirs off, and it just gets ridiculous.
yeah,
Okay, you got this 3/4 that now you have 3 draws out of 5 to get the Mjolnir, right?
yeah,
And the Mjolnir is 6 power.
yeah,
So 3 out of 5 is like 60%. So that's like 3.6, something like that.
yeah,
So basically what I'm trying to say is Thor is a 7.6. And he doesn't make your opponent draw 2 cards like Maximus. That's Thor.
he's good. Thor's a good card.
Car's
Um,
nuts. This card's insane.
you could, I think you could argue that he's one of the best 3 drops in the game, if not the best.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
could,
and
you could make that argument for 3 drops.
part of it is slightly biased where I was playing a lot of Storm, you were bringing up, and they just throw Thor in the Storm lane.
Yeah,
Is
that
absolutely
too.
miserable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
You
why
know
the
how much I'm
lockjaw.
sweating? I see even just a 3/4, even if they never draw the Mjolnir, I'm just like, God damn it, fucking
Well, that's the
Thor.
thing. Yeah, he just makes you sweat. Just the thought of him being there.
Oh my
You're just
god.
like,
They put
shit.
like Thor Wasp in the Storm lane. I'm just like, oh my god. Oh
That's
no, 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 no.
yeah. That's why that deck beats the Evo control deck,
Yeah.
because you can
Yeah,
do stuff like that. Like
he's crazy, man.
who's a better 3 drop? I mean, you could maybe Killmonger,
Let me see. I'm just checking my list.
Storm. I mean, I like Storm,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I
Thor's
will say
good too.
spoiler, I do have one ahead
That's
of
all
him.
right. That's all right.
Yeah. So
But
to me,
yeah,
he's the second best 3 drop in the game.
he's great.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great. I agree. Go for it.
Okay, I'll go 7. So we're taking turns, right? So,
Yep.
then next time you do 6. 7, I put uh under the same, vein as Darkhawk, I put Zabu at 7.
Me too.
Wow. That's nuts.
I
I
might
know
have some.
Cozy and
I think
Alex
I
have
have
this.
some hot
Yeah,
takes coming up,
yeah.
but yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll just give my
Zabu, I think is
logic.
a great card. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
this card's awesome. I know when Alex and Cozy did their Snapchat, they both had this card at 1. I think in again, I don't want to sound like broken record, but it's like Evo, Kitty Bounce. Zabu's not in these decks, so to me, he's not a number 1. But that's the only reason. Other than that, just the card on its own as a 2 drop, a 2/2 reduces your 4 cost by 1. This is still an insane card. Like even if you just play 1 4 drop, like crazy value. You see when how hard it is of a nerf when they increase a cost of a card, like when Spider-Man goes
Yeah,
to 5, like
yeah,
it's or if imagine if they put Nimrod to 4, like just reducing the cost of a card is crazy in Marvel
yeah.
Snap.
Wild.
So Zabu is just a phenomenal card and goes in so many different decks.
Well, you. Here's your. Where do I have your deck still? I hope I
Mhm.
do. Yeah, your Mr. Negative deck, Zabu and Mr. Negative. You got an
Oh
infinite.
yeah.
You got an infinite ticket with this bad boy.
Yeah. No, Zabu. Well, you got to play him in Mr. Negative. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, there's a lot of
yeah,
decks that you got like any Darkhawk deck,
yeah,
you got to play
mhm,
him in that.
yeah,
Uh, now he makes Nick Fury a 3.
mhm. Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. The new Nick Fury deck's actually, yeah. The Zabu's like a core piece of that deck. Like
yeah,
it's like the main card. You got
Spider-Man
Quinjet and Zabu in
2099.
that deck.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2099, a 4
Mhm.
drop, make him be a 3.
Yeah.
Iron
Mhm,
Lad, make him a
mhm,
3.
mhm,
Enchantress, make her a 3.
mhm.
Shang-Chi, make him a 3. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
And then you play 2 of those cards on turn 6. It's insane.
yeah, yeah.
Turn 6 you could do Rock Slide and Darkhawk.
And the power is like 2 power is not that bad, right? If it was 1 power, it'd feel
No.
kind of bad, I think. But 2 power is okay. Like I feel pretty good playing Daredevil for 2 power when I get to see what they play. And I feel like Zabu, you get a pretty like even more powerful, I would say, effect than Daredevil of reducing your cards like by 1. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I
Mhm,
think like if the meta shifts to more like 4 drop Zabu focused, I
mhm,
wouldn't even be mad if he was a 2-1.
mhm.
I don't think that now is the time to ever do that. I don't think he needs a
Oh
nerf by
no,
any
yeah.
means. I
I
don't
don't think he
think he
should be
needs
nerfed.
one.
Yeah. I don't think he
But
should be
I'm
nerfed.
saying like if 4 drops become a lot more if there's a lot more strong 4 drops released in the future,
Mhm,
if he gets nerfed to a 2-1, I don't think I would be like, "Oh
mhm,
man, they killed Zabu." Like I'd be like,
mhm.
"Yeah, he's a 2-1, but I'm owning with all these other 4 drops that are
True.
ridiculous."
Yeah. Yeah,
That
you
are now
take it on the
3.
chin for turn 2 and then you just crush the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great how we both had him at 7.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cute.
So I have number 6,
Mhm.
um, Shang-Chi.
Nice. I like it.
I think that
Mhm,
with there's so many cards that are above 9 or above now in the
mhm,
meta, he has become in conquest mode a staple, I think. Whereas
mhm,
before conquest was out, we like barely saw any Shang-Chi on the ladder. Like he like fell off a cliff.
mhm,
Now there's conquest, people are getting greedy. There's a
mhm,
lot more cards that are higher than 9, and he's
mhm.
just been a sick tech card. And I think almost any deck, I think you can throw him in conquest, and he's a great tech card.
I would say too, not a lot of Cosmo and armor at all anywhere.
Yeah, no, nope.
It's like I don't see, in Shuri, like that's all those only cards you saw was Cosmo and armor every single game, man.
Mhm.
I don't see those cards too much. Like Shang is, if you wanted to get him off, he's doing it.
He gets value in almost against almost anything. The
Yeah.
lockjaw deck
Mhm.
gets 100% value.
Yeah.
Like he almost can take out 30 pieces, almost a 430 sometimes.
Yeah, he's popping off against
You know,
Lockjaw for sure
the
because
bounce
they can't pass Prio. They have to play in their Lockjaw lane,
Yeah,
so
the
they have no
bounce
control over it.
yeah, the bounce list, there's
Mhm.
so many cards that get above 9 now.
Yeah.
Angela always gets above 9. Bishop gets above 9 routinely. You're never
Mhm.
gonna hit the Kitty Pride, unless they play badly. Hit Monkey, if they're playing him early, can get above 9 pretty handily.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of cards that you can just turn the game around with Shang-Chi.
Mhm.
And then if you're playing against that, if it's conquest, if they know you have Shang-Chi, you take out their Angela and win a game, they
Mhm.
have to play differently for the
Yeah.
rest of the game.
Mhm.
They gotta play scared because, the cheese there. So I think he's made a resurgence.
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, he probably would have been lower down, like before conquest.
Mhm.
A month and a half ago, he would have been in top 3, maybe if not number
Yeah,
1.
for sure.
like
He was ridiculous. Yeah.
so like I felt like he deserved to be in the top 10. I don't
Yeah.
have him in the top 5, but he's my number 6 pick.
No, I like that a lot, and I will say I don't have him on my list,
Yeah.
but the original reason why I wanted to go to 10 picks was to so I could include cards like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was the
Yeah.
first one. Like if I do only a top 5, I won't be able to put Shang. I want to put like the tech cards, but
Yeah.
I ended up just deciding to basically only put Luke Cage as my only tech card, and
Yeah.
I put like Killmonger honorable mention. So I didn't end up squeezing in the Chi, but I still think he's for sure a top 20 card, like no question. I think, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Who you got for
Okay.
6?
My number 6 is what I think is the best 3 cost in the game. Storm.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storm is
Dude, Storm's
insane.
sick. Go, go.
Storm
Say
is
we
ridiculous. So a couple things just I wanted to
we were
add
only
to what you
we were
were
only
saying.
two, we were only 2 off.
Yeah,
I had
you're
her
at
at
8
8.
with Storm. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think
so
we're pretty much, with Lockjaw and Storm, we're pretty similar. We're just two
yeah.
spaces apart.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing just to add to what you were saying, location control is ridiculous with her.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just being able to have any location control is crazy. Like there's some locations where, you get Tillian or something, you have the perfect hand. I get to keep the perfect hand, or, whatever. Like you seeing something that's pretty good for you, but it's gonna screw your opponent over. Or you leave that, you storm something else. Now they're kind of can't play in two lanes. And
Yeah.
the big thing with her, as opposed to other lockdown cards like Spider-Man and Professor X, is she costs three. And
Yeah.
those cards cost five. So
Yeah.
like just having a three cost that locks down a lane and gives you location control. Spider-Man or Professor X don't even give you location control. So and she's similar power to them too, honestly. I mean 2, 3, 4, right? Like what. So yeah, this card's nuts, man. I know there's ways to deal with her, but she does you don't even really commit that much with just a three
Yeah.
power anyway.
And
So yeah.
especially after Evo, she's got such a bounce because just throwing a
Mhm.
Cyclops in the storm lane now is
Mhm.
insane because they throw
Yeah.
stuff and you're just losing power every. And Cyclops on 4, it's like, it's a 3-6 immediately
Mhm.
in the
Yeah,
lane.
and some people are playing Thing in the Storm lane. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, Storm's a sick card. That's, yeah.
I mean, and in a discard meta, like there's Dracula stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, he's sick. She's sick. Yeah, the discard too. She's doing all the discard lists too. I think she's in my
Yeah, she's crazy
sick.
in that. Like I love her in discard too. Like throw Dracula there. You could just throw on a Morbius lane. You have
Yeah.
Morbius, just throw. Also Nebula runs naturally in the discard list as well. So
Yeah.
Storm Nebula, Storm Morbius, Storm Cyclops. I mean Storm Juggernaut, like you said with the Surfer. Like
Yeah.
crazy, crazy, crazy card. You don't even need to combo her. You just play Storm, and
Yeah.
just force them to play there and just win the other two. Like you could do whatever you want. It's a crazy
Yeah.
card.
It's a
Yeah.
crazy card.
hmm
Top 5.
hmm
I think my number 5, I don't think you have in your list.
Wait, hold on. My dog is like crying for like the last 5 minutes. Let me go check on you.
All right, go. And we're back. So let's get into our top 5.
Number five. So I think you did six first, so I'll go
Yeah.
first on five.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry to the free to play players, the filthy casuals. This man is 6,000 tokens. He's a big bad, and his name is Jeff the Baby Land
Oh my
Shark.
god. Let's see if he's in my shop. If I can even pull him up. Nope.
This card
I
is
can't
stupid,
even
man.
pull him
I
up.
don't. I still don't like. I can't even talk about him that much because I've only had him for like 2 days. Been playing with him,
Yeah.
and oh, yeah, sorry, the dog is barking. Uh, sorry. Like I was saying, Jeff the Baby Land Shark. I've only had him for like 2 days. I don't know why he's so good, but he just feels really good. He's already won me a few games just on his own. He goes into the Professor X lane. You could play him in the Storm lane. You could just play mind games with your opponent. He's still a 2-3. It's pretty nice stats. You play on one lane. Are you gonna move it? Are you not gonna move it? Half the time I feel like I just leave him. And the other half of the time I move him. They don't
Yeah.
know. So it's just does a lot. You wouldn't think it on just this 2-3, but he does so much for you, and just the restriction. He plays through Sandman, like all this crazy stuff. So yeah, man, Jeff the Baby Landshark, just mega mega versatile, crazy two cost card. And I think two cost is loaded with all kinds of crazy cards, man, and
Yeah.
this is one of them.
I think maybe he's so good just because of his versatility too.
Yeah.
You just put him in almost any deck and he's good in almost any deck and he doesn't care about shit locations.
Mhm.
And Professor X and Spider-Man and Storm, anything. And he can just steal games. No, it's great.
And yeah, like you're saying, the versatility of Jeff the Baby Landshark is crazy, man. So yeah, man, that's it, man. He's Jeff. He's the big bad, and
Yeah.
I still don't know if I'll spend 6K tokens. I do think he's going to be in one of these spotlight things. But we'll talk about that after. But I think Jeff's a strong candidate to be in the spotlight cash. So I don't know if I'd spend the 6K now.
Yeah. I haven't spent the 6K and I won't. I'll wait. Um he is a 6,000 card token for a reason, so yeah.
Yeah.
I will go with my number 5. This might be a hot take.
Oh baby.
Doctor Doom.
Ooh.
I think he would be before the OTA
Hmm.
top 3, maybe even number 1.
Yeah.
I still think he's pretty good. I think he had a
hmm
little bit of a fall from grace.
hmm
I still, that power does matter. It does
hmm
matter, especially in like some of the ramp Odin decks and stuff.
Yeah.
but I'm still seeing him, and he's still doing work.
Mhm,
You still like, maybe they'll change him eventually to be a 6/6, and then the Doom bots are 4.
mhm,
Maybe not, but I still think like he's a solid choice if you have a 6 card that you just want to throw in.
mhm.
He's still a really good choice.
Yeah. Yeah, as a he's definitely a surprise card now. As you know, you're not expecting the Doom now. I mean,
Mhm.
I think it was like 1 or 2 pods ago. We're like, well, you got to be able to beat 5 in every lane, every single game, right? Because they
Yeah,
just you got to assume that they have Doctor Doom, right? It's like
yeah,
50% of games he's in there.
yeah.
So you're not calculating for Doom anymore. Like
No.
he's now a surprise card. So
And
yeah,
then there's also the mind games of, all right, like where's the 5 power going to be and where's the 4 power going to be,
true. Yeah. Mhm.
you know? So he could easily like could make the argument for him not to be in the top 10, but I still think that he's still a really really great card. I really really do think that. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
stat wise for a 6 cost, like getting 13 across 3 lanes still sounds pretty good, you know. So yeah, I could see it for sure. I just it's so soon. I have no idea, honestly. Like I
Yeah.
said, with these cars that just like Spider Ham and 2099 and Doom, like I don't know,
Yeah.
man. It's
Yeah.
so many changes.
It is
But we're
soon,
gonna
but
have like
here's the
3 weeks
point.
now with like no changes, right? So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens with Doom.
All right. Number 4,
All
I'll
right.
go.
Yeah.
Kitty Pride.
Yeah, buddy.
Kitty
Why Kitty?
Pride.
Why Kitty?
I mean, why not Kitty? She's taking over the meta.
Yeah, she's
She's
wild.
like just I'll pull her up on the screen. She's just a ridiculous, ridiculous card. She's so good. And then this bounce deck is just probably the best deck in the game right now.
Mhm.
And it's all like Kitty Pride at the core.
Yeah.
She's the engine that drives everything. You play her. If you play in the collector version, she's getting a collector the point. You could play her on Angela. She's getting Angela 2 points every time. You're playing her with Bishop. She's getting Bishop the points every time. She's just a ridiculous card that if you bast her, whatever, it's great. And then one of the best things about her is not just everything that I just mentioned, is that you throw priority. She
Yeah.
comes back into your hand, so like you don't really have to worry about getting killmongered.
Yeah, you don't have to think about it that much either. She just kinda does it on her own, you know? It's
Yeah,
pretty nice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like a insane card, and you don't only have to put her in the bounce deck. You could put her in other decks too, and she's decent, like Sarah decks kind of thing. Any deck that doesn't run a big 6 drop,
Mhm.
she's pretty good in those decks.
I was gonna say that I'm starting to see her pop up in other decks now. I think people are experimenting.
Yeah,
Like, these Nick Fury decks, I think she's pretty good if you're playing, like, Collector Nick Fury.
yeah,
It kinda makes sense to have a kitty, and you're gonna have, like, Quinjet too, so all these cards are gonna be cheap. You're always gonna be able to play a kitty, and there's no real, like, natural 6 drop in a deck like that, right? Like, a Devil Dino is, like, your big card, right? So,
yeah.
you could easily play Dino Kitty on 6, and that's, like, amazing, right? So,
Even some move decks. Molt is
yeah.
putting Kitty Pride in his move decks because he puts
Yeah, 'cause
Angela. Like,
Angela's a natural fit and move, right? So that
yeah,
kinda makes sense, right?
yeah, wild.
Mhm.
So just great, great card.
Yeah, Kitty Pryde's nuts. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Absolutely. Um, alright, my number 4, along similar lines, but a different card, another big bad. In your honorable mentions, the Hit Monkey.
He's good. He's a good card.
I think Hit Monkey's
He's
crazy. I think
he's
this card's
sick.
cracked.
Yeah.
I think he's crazy. Like I said, I mean, waves out there. Hitmonkey doesn't seem to care too much. I mean, Sandman does make him miserable, and there was a time where Hitmonkey came out, and then it was like a Sandman meta. Like Sandman was like the most popular deck, right? And
Yep.
in that kind of meta, I don't know if I would even have him in an honorable mention. Like it is can't do anything against Sandman. But other than that, only one card that almost nobody's playing right now. I mean, Hitmonkey is just ridiculous, ridiculous card. Stupid power. You have Bast synergy, so you could pump him up to 3, and then he goes crazy. There's the classic Mysterio. If you're playing him in a Sarah deck, then Mysterio costs 1, Hitmonkey costs 1. If you're not playing him in a Sarah deck, you could have 0 cost 1 cards like a 0 cost Kitty, and that you're always going to have available to play. And yeah, man, this card he goes so hard. He's so much power. He seems like he's just Morbius plus level powers. just and like kind of seems more reliable. Like, it's not like, oh, I need the Modoc. You could play him with many different combinations of cards. Even if he's a 2/6, that's still pretty nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, Hitmonkey's nuts, man. This card's crazy.
It's an insane card. You're
And he's
absolutely
the
right.
big
I
bad.
mean, and he's the big bad. I think that maybe I should have put him top 3 as a big bad.
Yeah.
He's such a sick card. And it's not only that, like, of course he's ridiculous on turn 6, but
Mhm,
even turn 4, him and Mysterio, he's a 2/6, you know?
mhm.
It's like for 4 power, you get that plus the Mysterio. Um, it's great. And even like you play him and then you bounce him back, and then he
Yeah,
just gets even more ridiculous. And then he's
yeah,
a 1 cost after you beast him, you know?
mhm,
It's insane. Yeah, he's a sick card. Yeah,
mhm,
one of the better, more versatile season pass cards,
mhm.
or one of the ones that like you use a lot. They're like, oh wow, he's pretty good. And you
Yeah.
can put him in a lot of decks.
Feels great. Feels great to play. I
Yeah,
love the animation. It's just good. It's a good time. A lot of power.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
No, that's good. I love it.
Okay, so I'm going for 3 now.
Number 3.
My 3 is your 4, Kitty Pryde.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just a sick card.
Everything you said with her being the engine of the bounce deck, I agree 100%. This is the card, man. This is the card that
Yep.
makes that deck broken. And yeah, she's cracked, man. I mean, you talked about it. You said it all. I don't know what else to say. Collector, Bast, Angela, synergy. People play with Bishop. Getting Beast on your Kitty Pride is ridiculous. Having her
Yeah.
as a 0 is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you could play her with 6 power at the end with your Mitt Monkey, and it's like, oh my god, just yeah, this card's nuts. Throws Prio, dodges Killmonger, like yeah,
Yeah.
just
And it's
nuts.
like the beast nerf didn't even matter. The deck was
Yeah,
like, yeah, hold my beer.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, but it's weird, eh? They nerf Beast and Hood both.
Yeah.
Both cards I still play in the deck,
Yeah.
and but then the deck got Spider Ham, right? So it's interesting, right? It's like, all right, they got a really good new card to play with. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the Ham is an interesting piece of disruption that the deck now has. So,
Yeah.
it kind of has everything. You got power, you got tricky, like which lane am I playing in? You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about Galactus, which I think is a massive deal, by the way. I don't
Yeah.
we haven't talked about Galactus at all on this pod,
No.
except a little bit earlier. But the fact that Galactus isn't like the most popular deck in the game, I think makes this card way stronger. I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
Galactus actually kind of dummies the bounce deck. Honestly, I
Of
don't think it
course.
can do
Yeah.
too much against them. So
Nothing.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a great card.
Mhm,
My number 3 is kind of on the lines of this kind of card.
mhm.
I have a feeling it's gonna be your number 2, maybe. I don't know. Nebula.
Oh, Navi.
Navi is just sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Another sick season pass card.
Mhm.
Unreal. What the one drops are insane because they're so versatile. I have
Yeah,
yeah,
it never
she's
used to be like this. The one drops used to be kind of the worst cards in the game, right?
yeah,
But like 2 or 3 of them are just cracked right now. Like they're
yeah.
insane.
She's my number 3 because
Mhm,
you could literally all you could put her in
mhm.
almost any deck, and not feel bad about it.
No.
Her on a turn 1 in any instance is never bad. You throw in the right lane, or for the most part, and then like you're happy. You let her go.
Mhm.
1/3 is like a good cost for the mana, and she like if she stays a 1/1, your opponent is just like not playing optimally at all.
Yeah, I don't even know if the mathematically well, yeah, okay, if you put her out later, I guess she could, but yeah, if you get her on turn 1, I don't even think they could do that mathematically, right? There's
No,
6 turns
yeah, it's wild.
and only 4
It's
spots
wild.
to play.
Well, Kitty Pride, but
Oh, true, yeah. Yeah, and you play a lot of Destroy, Killmonger, yeah, shit like that. I guess that's true. Yeah, there are ways, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, she's vulnerable, of course, but
Mhm.
like all one drops are. If they have the
It's
Killmonger, sure. Like
it's
if
such low
Killmonger,
commitment for such high impact, basically.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like her in a storm lane, insane.
Mhm.
Her and Professor X. Professor X on top, they can't do anything.
Awesome with
Especially
Professor X.
if you cheat out Professor X.
Mhm.
It's wild.
You don't even really need to cheat it out, you just play Professor X on top of her, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm just saying if you cheat out
Yeah.
Professor X, like you get
Mhm.
even more points in that lane,
True, yeah.
you know? But yeah, she's my number 3. And yeah, the one drops are taking over.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Alright, so
um,
you're doing 2, right?
yeah,
Or no. Yeah, you're doing 2, yeah.
yeah. We can say our number one at the same time if we want, but it's probably it's the easiest number one pick I ever made in my life.
But we're
Um,
on two though. We're on two right
we're
now,
on
right?
two.
Yeah,
One that's already been mentioned in your list,
yeah.
the big bad himself, Jeff, the
No.
baby land shark.
Yo,
I think I don't even have the fucking card, and I think he's
yeah,
just broken as hell.
I'm
I
not mad
think
at that.
that
Yeah,
I think that he's you know, just so versatile. I see him and I see all these new decks I want to try, and they all have Jeff, and I'm like, you know what? For Christ's sake, he just like they need. I try the decks though, Jeff, and it's just not the same. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, if I had Jeff, I could have done this. Oh, I could have done this.
Mhm.
I could have. And I see myself every time, like, man, when I get him, it's gonna be a nice day because I'm gonna
Yeah, I
have
think
so
you're
much
gonna play
fun.
him even more than I
Oh
did.
yeah,
I
when
put
I
him
get
quite a
him,
bit already.
I go nuts when I get him out of like random stuff like the Triskelion or like just some random like card generated. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh Jeff. I'm like, yes. So
Mhm.
I think he's wild. Just he could be in like almost any deck and just like I don't know. You got him. You played with him for a week. You even told me you're like, dude, this card's broken as hell.
It's so broken. I don't know how you change him though. Like, would you nerf him? Like, it's hard.
No,
It's a hard one. I think a
no,
2-2 would be kind of miserable with him.
no. I think he's fine the way he is.
Yeah.
You leave him. He's just a good. There's always got to be a good card, right? Like he's just.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
There's
Yeah.
always got to be cards that are better than others. So
Mhm. Yeah, true. It's a
who's
cool
your
effect.
number two?
Well, I'm gonna say my top two, I think, are gonna get touched up and probably should. And my number two is same as your three, Nebby, Big
Yeah,
Nebby.
yeah. I knew you were gonna. I had a feeling Navi was gonna be
Yeah,
your number two.
yeah. I mean,
A
we know the
sick
best
card.
cards in the game. We've been playing. These cards are crazy.
Yeah,
I think she's just overstated. Similar argument to Thor. I think Thor is just maybe a little bit overstated, but I think it's okay because he costs three. It's conditional. Nebula's always good, man. This is just always you just as
yeah,
long as you draw her like in the first three turns, and then if you don't, who cares? She's a one, like whatever. It's like,
yeah,
man, this card. Even if you play her on Storm on turn four, like after you play Storm and you play like Nebula Cyclops or something, like
yeah,
that's crazy still.
yeah.
So like, yeah, this card I think she just should be a 1-0 personally. I think she'd be fine as a 1-0, and it'd be
I would
similar
play
to
her.
like kind of Lizard, where sometimes you use her, sometimes you don't. It's like I don't think it would kill the card. Or same, Sunspot went to 0, and he still used quite a bit actually.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, I think it's just a little bit overstated for what she does, for the crazy impact that she has on the game.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, obviously, she was my number three. Like, I can't
Yeah,
argue.
yeah.
Um, and then number one, I think like is just it was. This was the easiest number one I've ever picked. I'll just like look at any of my 20 decks. Probably 18 of them have this card in it. Hi
It's time
Evo.
to evolve. Evolve.
This card is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say about if the card was a 4-0, I
Mhm.
probably everyone would still play him.
I wouldn't change any of my decks. I would the exact same. Uh,
You just
it
don't
would be a
care.
pretty big nerf, though. I think that's actually a good
Yeah,
nerf.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
like to see that as a nerf, honestly. That'd be interesting,
yeah. Or
you
like
know,
start going with like a 4-2 or something.
because I do play the card sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not like I never play the card. I do
Yeah.
play it sometimes.
This would make
Mhm.
the lockjaw a lot worse
Mhm.
because then if you're pulling up a 4-2 or something or a 4-0, you're getting screwed.
Even the control list, sometimes I have to play it into the storm lane, and I don't feel good about it. Or
Yeah,
sometimes you need the 4 power, and if it was just a
yeah,
0, like, and you had to pass, and I don't have like Cyclops out or something, like, man, and my Hulk's getting pigged every single game anyway, so he doesn't
oh,
get +2, and
yeah,
it like sometimes you do have to play him, like, and
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be an interesting nerf. I
yeah.
personally think the nerfs are going to be, just to make a prediction, I think Wasp will only hit one card, and I think Hulk will get touched up somehow. My guess would be put him to 13 base power and +1 for every skip. That would be my guess. Just
I
Wasp and Hulk, and then I think you could just leave everything else. None of the
yeah.
other cards are broken in my opinion. Cyclops is pretty good, but I don't think he's like broken.
Yeah, I don't
But I
know.
mean,
I don't
it's just
think
Wasp and
they
Hulk.
wanted. I don't think Second Dinner wanted to touch up the other cards.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to just do one, like leave one broken and leave like. But they could, yeah, they could touch up Wasp and Hulk and Cyclops, but
I would almost like to see like a thing buff though, like I'd like to see thing throw out one more hydrant.
I mean, he's a 4.9. That's pretty sick.
Let's get him 10, man. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
He doesn't feel good at 4 costs. Like honestly, it
yeah,
feels like kind of a bad card in my opinion.
I agree. I don't like him at 4 cost.
Mhm.
I
But he
think
has
I
to be
think
because that's what he is, right? So it's like,
yeah.
you
I
know,
think the most obvious change is just to decrease his power a little bit.
yeah.
Make him like a 4.2 and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Just you could
Yeah.
even do that in
I,
OTA, yeah. Just
yeah,
decrease.
I really think he's gonna need a touch up. We'll see. I mean, I don't. Again, we don't have the data. We don't know shit. But I
Mhm.
mean, he's just like, aside from bounce, he's every other top deck is high evo. He's
Yeah.
got 3 S tiers in the meta right now. High evo
Mhm.
control, high evo lockjaw, high evo the mid range.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
what other card had 3 different decks that were S tier decks?
Yeah, because even when Thanos was rocking and, because you could do a bunch of different Thanos decks,
Yeah,
it was mostly the Lockjaw one that was the most oppressive,
that
right?
was the
Like,
only
it was
one.
it
That was the
yeah,
only
it was
one
all
because
it was
this.
only Thanos Lockjaw, so
Yeah,
when
Quinjet
that
and the
was the
stones were
the deck,
0,
right?
and then it was ridiculous.
Because Thanos you can build a bunch of different ways, but the broken one was the Lockjaw one
Yeah,
specifically. And
yeah,
yeah, High Evo, it's they're all broken, man, just because they have High Evo in them, it doesn't matter.
yeah. And you only
Yeah,
really need Hulk and Wasp in some of them too. Like, just
yeah.
I've seen
Uh,
just decks of people just being like high evo Hulk, high evo just Wasp.
yeah,
And even that's sometimes enough. Not just Wasp, but
yeah,
that's enough sometimes.
yeah, and even, I think Doctor Doom Nerf actually is a little, like, slight buff to Hulk as well.
Yeah,
Because he was already because sometimes some people were playing Doom in their high evo decks, right? And
yeah,
but now he's just getting cut, and it's like, yeah, man, it's just always Hulk now.
yeah.
He's just
It's
that much
wild.
better of a 6 drop compared to the other 6 drops.
Yeah, he's sick. He's
Yeah,
sick. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
Feel like a 20 power card in a lane.
yeah.
So you're like, okay, like I won this lane, I won another lane, and I have Hulk. Can you
And
beat Hulk? Yes
I
or no?
gotta
That's
say too, just Misty Knight synergy with your number 2 card, Jeff the Baby Landshark. There was one game where
wild.
I passed on turn 1 because I'm playing high evo deck.
Yeah.
We pass our turns, and then turn 2 I played Jeff, and then turn 3 I'm like, you know what? I just want to see what happens. I don't play an Infinity Conquest, whatever. Misty Knight only turn 3, guaranteed to hit the
Yeah,
Jeff. That's a 2-4 no matter what now.
that's insane.
Where is it going at the end of the game? That's a 2-4 now. Maybe later it'll be a 2-5. There's nothing you can do. You can't stop Jeff. You can't stop him. It's so crazy, man. Yeah,
Oh,
when she hits Jeff, it's the dream. It's crazy.
that's insane. It's
Yeah.
yeah, this card's just like no contest, and I don't see it coming off its pedestal anytime soon if it doesn't get nerfed. Like the new
Mhm.
cards coming out, I don't think is gonna, you know, it'll be high evo like Phoenix Force decks, stupid stuff like that.
I don't even think Luke Cage would be like a top 30 card if this didn't exist. You know what I
No,
mean?
he
I put him at
wasn't.
10. I don't even think I would have him. Maybe it might be a below average card, honestly. It might
Yeah.
even be a top
Well,
100.
what was he before high evo? He
Yeah.
was a hazmat meme.
Yeah, Hazmat and Cerebro too, I guess. That's not even a real deck, so
Turbo 2 is a meme in
yeah,
itself.
it really is a meme. Yeah,
It was,
Hazmat
I mean,
and Cerebro, they're both memes, but maybe that's
yeah,
part of the reason because they had Luke Cage, right? That's
yeah,
kind of useless card, right?
yeah.
So
So,
yeah,
yeah, it's just that was an easy. I started with this one. I'm like, all right, what are the other ones going to be? Because this is just very easy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's
So
crazy, crazy card.
top 10. I thought that was
I
pretty
was
good.
debating to put a bounce card or him, like Kitty. I was debating him and Kitty. But yeah, Evo just seems like the one.
It's not even close.
And I think
He's
it's really good against the Kitty deck too because they can't really play Luke Cage. They just
As a
do too much.
card, he's just the best. He's way better than Kitty. Like he's just people just
Yeah,
yeah, he's just
he does so
really good.
much. Yeah, he does so
Yeah.
much. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're great. That's
Well,
an
that was pretty
awesome.
good actually. We had a lot
Yeah.
of similarities. I was
We
I was
did.
pretty
We had a couple
surprised.
of the same ones. That's great. We should probably do it like once a month or something.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe next week we do like top 3 fun cards to play or something like that.
yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows?
That'd be
We'll
good.
talk about it.
I like it.
I think maybe next week we talk about the spotlight caches and stuff. It's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah, true. We're going Joe Rogan. We're going
We're
full Joe Rogan this
yeah,
week.
exactly. We're going
Yeah,
full. Full J Ro over here.
Well, I think we're because my dog was barking a lot, so we'll probably edit out like 10 minutes. But yeah, we get at least hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, we'll talk about the other stuff later. Stonks, high evo stonks are up.
Do you well yeah, this is a list of our stonks for sure. Do you have any not stonks off the top of your head really quick?
I don't have any not stonks, but I have a
Mhm,
card that I think is gonna make a resurgence soon. Not a
mhm,
resurgence, is gonna be played a little bit more.
mhm,
This is a very, very, very hot take.
mhm.
Shadow King.
Ooh, okay.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, I
because
guess you're bringing cards
bounce.
back from the
Yeah,
high Evo.
there was
Yeah.
that was yeah, that and the
Mhm,
yeah, like Cyclopses and stuff. The
mhm,
creator class tournament just finished.
mhm,
Like all the top people were playing they're all playing bounce.
mhm,
So everyone's gonna want to play bounce now, which they already are. Shadow King rapes Bishop, Angela, Hit
mhm,
Monkey, Kitty Pride, but you won't get the Kitty Pride for the priority. But
mhm.
all that you just own all their lane. That's it.
Collector.
Anything that was basted, yeah,
Yeah,
collector.
collector too. Yeah, any
Yeah.
bast, yeah.
Yeah. Angela to zero, like from 10 to zero, like
Oh yeah, I've lost to it. I've definitely lost to it. I've lost 8 cubes to that card a few times, honestly.
I think that's
Luckily,
gonna
no one was playing it in Conquest, but, when I was
yeah.
playing on the ladder, I've lost many 8 cube games
Yeah,
to
I think
not
that's
many,
gonna
like 4 or 5 to Shadow King.
yeah, that's gonna be an interesting I think that's gonna be another tech choice. I think he's gonna be if Bounce stays as popular as it is, I think Shadow King will be a thought a more of a thought for people. Like, do I put Shang, Enchantress, Killmonger? Shadow King, you know?
Well, kinda nice, like, replacement for Luke Cage too, if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Because you just don't have to play the Luke now because Shadow King can reset your cards. So whatever ones are like, it's not as hard of a counter to High Evo, but at least it addresses bounce and High Evo both.
Yep.
Whatever, like they'll still get their bomb off, but you can restore your lane to its former glory after they already played the Wasp, they already played the Cyclops, and you just
Yeah.
go turn 6. You got Sarah. You play like Silver Surfer, Brood, Shadow King, or Surfer, Maximus, Shadow King. Like turn 6 is, or if you have the Nova out, you play your Killmonger, Shadow King, Surfer. Like that's really, 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 really strong.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think it would be in a Surfer deck? Obviously, right?
I I think Surfer's the most obvious choice.
But who
I
knows? Yeah.
honestly think he's gonna
Mhm.
start being thrown in decks like instead of picking Enchantress, you're picking Shadow King.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Or
That's
like
a
instead of
spicy, spicy,
Shang-Chi,
spicy
yeah,
take.
instead
Yeah.
of Shang-Chi, you're picking Shadow King. Like, I think
Mhm.
he's just gonna be a tech card like that.
Mhm.
I don't think he's gonna be as popular as those ones. I think
Mhm.
we're just gonna see a lot more of him.
Mhm.
Not a lot more, but I think it's just we never see him now. I
Mhm.
think we're gonna see more of him if Bounce stays popular.
It's a scorching take, but it makes a lot of sense.
Because he just
Literally, the
owns yeah,
clear top 2 decks are gonna have a hard time against this card.
yeah, he just owns Angela. He owns all the bounce cards basically. Like he
Mhm,
just it's crazy.
mhm.
Yeah.
Misty Knight counter? Lol.
Yeah. E- even if Shuri is starting to become more popular too,
Yeah.
you bring those down.
Mhm.
You
Yeah, and
know?
it's probably gonna be Sauron Shuri now too, so there won't be,
Yep.
like, the Cosmo armor bullshit, right? So,
Yeah, no,
you
no.
could you play your king anywhere, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, Taskmaster would go to 0, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's gonna be hard to hit, right? You have to guess. And they have to have priority, which they usually do.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean if you lock down another lane
Yeah,
and then
I
they
guess you
have
could just
priority,
snipe the skull, and actually, if you have prio and you snipe the skull, then you're taking away like 14 from a taskmaster. That's minus 14 off the skull, minus 14 off the
yeah, maybe
taskmaster.
you win the other lane that they thought they
Yeah,
won.
if it's only 14, right? So yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be a good tech card. Like
And it's a 3/5 against Red Skull because he has +2 now.
exactly. Dude, I seriously think it's a good tech card.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, never crossed my mind at all. That's kind of cool. There's a lot of cool cards in Marvel Snap. I just
I
forget
know,
about them
yeah.
sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
If Bounce wasn't that popular, I wouldn't say him, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, all those cards get wrecked, but yeah, I have lost. I've straight up lost to it with bounce. Like, yeah, the Angela is the big one because she's
Mhm,
just sitting out there. She's just
mhm.
waiting. She's waiting to take it.
That's it.
Waiting
It
to
just
take the
gets
shine.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Shang-Chi, sometimes maybe she becomes an 8. This doesn't matter. She's a 0 every time.
Yeah.
Even if she's
Yeah.
an 8, this guy's a 311 just
Mhm.
on her.
Mhm.
Wild.
What's your do you have a general take on spotlight caches, or
Oh yeah, we
do you
could
want
talk
to
a
save
little
it for
bit.
next week? See how it kind of pans out.
My general take. I
Mhm.
mean, we're not going to see it until the next patch, right? July 11th.
Yeah, true.
General take. I think it's amazing for the game. I think it's great.
Hmm.
We're gonna get way more. It's if people who are not Series 3 complete, it's way better for them. For people who don't have as many cards, it's way better for people who don't have the full collection. If you have the full collection, it's a little bit, maybe a little bit, tiny bit worse, but you get more cool variants. But
Yeah.
whales are gonna be whales. I think it's the
Well,
one
it's like,
time
yeah,
where,
you get less tokens, but the nice thing that we get, because we're collection 3 complete, is the shot at the new card. So in a way,
yeah,
that could save you like 6,000 tokens.
yep,
If it's a card you want, you would have spent 6K, like, you actually just don't have to. You save up 40 caches and just run it on the 6K, because it
yeah.
will for sure be on every single new card, right?
Well,
So
also
that's the
they're
one
gonna
thing where I'm happy about, is like we could just go for the new cards if we want them and not have to spend any
well
tokens on
they're
them.
gonna announce ahead of time
Mhm.
like which cards are gonna be out. So like
Yeah,
all these people saying like, "Oh, secondary doesn't want you to hoard caches." Like they're basically telling us to hoard caches. 'Cause they're
they're
like, "Oh,
encouraging
we're,
it. Yeah,
we're gonna let
strongly.
you know like weeks in advance what they're gonna be, so you can
Mhm.
save for those." Because no one, I think it takes like 24,000 credits a week
Mhm.
if you want to get all four every week, which you
Yeah,
can't do.
of course.
Like
Yeah.
you have to hoard. So it's like
Mhm.
when Big Bad Jeff is the Series 5 card in there, and
Yeah.
then there's the new card, and then there's like, maybe another card I don't have, you
Mhm.
know, um,
You're gonna be blasting off on that week.
yeah, or it's like
Yeah.
a sweet null variant, if null's
Mhm.
the one, then I'm
Mhm.
blasting off. I'm going like four. I'm trying to
Mhm.
get all of them. And then it's great instead of like me spending 6,000 tokens. So now our credits actually mean something, and the
Yeah,
caches actually mean something.
it might end up being, I've heard from a couple people that I think the math works out where it even might be better for even a series 3 complete people. Just because the new cards, like, yeah, they're gonna be 3 to
Series
6K.
Series 3 complete people like us, it's better for. Yeah,
Yeah.
100% it's better
Well,
for.
we
I'm
get
saying
less
I'm
tokens.
saying
We get less
collection
tokens though.
collection complete people.
Oh, true. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
a
they're just
side
getting like
grade,
variants, I
maybe a
guess.
bit
Yeah.
worse, but they get
Mhm.
cool variants, so that's all they really care about because they're whales anyway.
That is
You
true.
know,
Yeah.
the yeah, you get less tokens, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna get more cards.
Mhm.
You get way more anyway than you would have with the tokens. The only argument I've heard is that you don't have the agency over. That's the only
Mhm.
argument I've heard is like, oh, if you want to spend your tokens on this exact card, you can't do it at that exact moment. You have to wait till it comes up in the spotlight cache for that week.
Mhm.
Which is they're having four per week. It's not going to be that long, that much.
Yeah, we still have the shop too, though. It's not like they're taking away the token shop, though, right?
Yeah, I know. Just you're gonna have less tokens, right? So
Yeah.
it just this
Yeah.
is putting more emphasis on money for variants and playing for cards. In general take. There's also a lot less gold too. Like people, we're not gonna be getting really gold anymore. And then
Yeah, it's
variants,
funny. I might just like end up with Galactus. I never thought I would have that card, and
yeah,
this is gonna be one of these things where if there's like Galactus and one other card I want, I'll probably just go for it because it's 6K. It's always gonna be 6K. Like,
yeah. Well, there'll be a new card and
yeah,
Galactus in there.
yeah. So,
So you're 100%. If you open four, you're getting two new cards. Like,
and maybe, you know what, I know it's a meme, but maybe I want to mess around with Snowguard a little bit.
that
Random thought. You gave a spicy take. Let me give a random spicy take too. That just occurred to me like a week ago for no reason. I was like laying in bed and this popped in my head. What if you played a zoo deck with Ghost as one of the ones? Now you can't get Killmonger.
Yeah, I think Ghost is sick in that case, but unless Ghost gets Killmongered before.
Yeah, true. But you run armor too, but yeah. But you could play the Ghost on 5 maybe. Like you maybe
Yeah,
always play it on 5, but then they might play the Killmonger first, but you're kind of dumping on 6.
yeah. If you could put the Ghost behind an armor, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It could be
Just a
good.
thought. Just a
Yeah,
thought.
I think
I
Ghost will
still
have
I
a
still don't think
Ghost.
Snowguard would make the cut on a deck like that.
Snowguard's horrible. It's an embarrassing card that I hope I don't pull. It's gonna be watch. It's gonna be in the first spotlight cache with Jeff, and I'm gonna just end up with Snowguard and be
You can
pissed.
have Snowguard, yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool
Mhm.
that you're getting like the in there. There's like the variants as well that are just like new variants that they're not going to release until like months down the road
Hmm.
as well. It's like you're
Yeah.
gonna have a cool variant that many people aren't gonna get. We
Yeah.
can we
Well.
can dive deeper into it later and go over the economy too, where you're getting less tokens, you're getting basically no gold,
Hmm.
um, but all these very expensive cards you're gonna have access to, and you're gonna have agency over. You just gotta wait a little bit, like wait till a week. It's gonna be this third week is where I'm gonna just go ham and get a bunch of stuff. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
yeah, I think it's a sick change for the game, and I'm happy that they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic about it, because I just if they put a bunch of bad cards that I don't care about in there, I'm gonna be a little bit tilted.
Well, it's only Series 4 and 5 and the new
Yeah, so
ones.
how bad could it be, right? But then I'm thinking like, all right, we
It's
got
only a
Snow
limited
Guard, we
amount.
got Stegron, Snow Guard. Like I don't know, we'll see. A stature, like I don't
I
know.
don't know. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Then
We'll
just
see.
don't buy it. Just don't buy the ones on that week. Then.
Yeah, yeah, I could just wait a week, and it's not like I could buy them every week anyway. I'm not gonna have 40 caches every week, so
No.
that'd be like a once a month thing anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe wait till there's one with a card that you really want, and then
Mhm,
you either roll the 25% and get it right away,
mhm.
or you
Yeah,
get some other cards that you don't have that you might not have wanted, but you get them anyway, or you get some cool variants. On the way
yeah,
to getting the card that you want, which is just like spending $6,000 on fucking silk or something like that.
yeah. True. Yeah,
Like, how cool would it be if you just open 4 caches and you get Silk and then, 3 other cards?
yeah. It'd be phenomenal. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I think yeah, I have 4 caches saved up right now. So I got 36 to go and I want to get to 40.
I
So
have
I'm ready
59.
for the first one that I got. Oh, nice.
I've been hoarding like an asshole
No, I just started. So yeah.
ever since you pulled Jeff. I was like, that bastard, I'm hoarding.
Well, this is good. This is good. I think Jeff, Hitmonkey, Darkhawk, and Null would be like my predictions for in the first 3 weeks. I think all those cards are gonna be in there.
Oh yeah. No,
Not
I think
not all
so.
in the same
I
one,
think
but I
I
think they'll be
think I
spread out.
think I think Darkhawk's gonna be one of the first ones too, because
Yeah,
they
Darkhawk in the
screwed. I
first
think he'll
one
be
is
the first one because they screwed everyone over, and I think
yeah.
Jeff will be in one of them too.
Mhm.
Look at these
Yeah, for sure.
variants. Shit, I'm gonna have to buy this probably. This might be the only pixel variant that I buy. Taco Bell Modoc. This is the best
Oh,
pixel
he's just
variant.
blasting. Oh man, oh god, I see it. I see it now.
The Taco Bell Modoc.
Yeah, he's feeling that bean burrito. He's sitting
Yeah,
on the toilet.
that's spicy bean burrito.
Oh man,
Oh, all right,
that's
man.
rough.
That was a good
We've
pod.
all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Okay.
Good job. Well, yeah, YouTube, all that stuff. We're on every podcasting station. Just find it somewhere to the 4 listeners that we have. And yeah, peace.
Happy snapping.
Yeah.